Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Dies live coverage of the Islanders against the Seattle Kraken. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there is no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you this evening?
Wonderful.
Oh, that's good to hear. And again, if you're new to the show, we invite you to stick around a while. Welcome to the Islanders Never Say Dies coverage of the Islanders against the Seattle Kraken. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. We go live every single Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we go live anytime the Islanders play a game, as long as it's not on a Thursday or on a Sunday. And we've got puck drop, grumpy old man. The Islanders against the Seattle Kraken. The game is officially underway, Grump.
All right. I find it interesting. We were opining last night if Sorokin was going to get another start, but not the case. Semyon Varlamov is back in net, going back to Barry's one-on, one-off deal, and Phil Grubauer is the net for the Kraken. The Seattle Kraken, they have a history of hockey in that town.
Oh, yes, they do.
Just like the Kraken, the mighty beastly warrior.
And we get to see Jordan Eberle for the first time this season. First time not wearing Islanders colors in quite some time.
Right, since he played for Edmonton. Oh, those many years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, Grump, we talked about this game. This is a game that should be an easy win here for the Islanders. I mean, this is...
I will say one thing. The Kraken have been playing teams tough recently. They lost yesterday to Boston 3-2, and then they beat Pittsburgh. I don't know, it was 2-1 or 3-2 the night before, 2 nights ago.
Wow.
So interesting. Maybe they're playing a little bit better now.
4 days as well, so we can't use if we lose, we're tired. But isn't it interesting? We see Zdeno Chara out there. Ever since Ryan Pudlock's been back to healthy, we've seen now Robin Salo sit the last 2 games in a row, and it seems like that will be a recurring trend. Goodbye, Robin Salo. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. You've got a collision already in front of that against Varlamov.
It's interesting. You see Yanni Gourde out there from a 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay. Jared McCann is someone who stepped up and played well for the Kraken. They have a pretty good defense core. I know they were struggling early on, but they seem to kind of right the ship a little bit. They're still one of the bottom 5 teams in the league, which should be good news for us. We seem to handle those teams pretty well.
Yeah, I was about to say, right? This is a game to where I'd be shocked if the Islanders lost. Seattle is not a good team. I know the Islanders have not played well this season. You could argue the Islanders are not a great team either. So, this is a home game. I'd be shocked if the Islanders lost. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, you won't get an argument from me that the Islanders are not a good team also. We have not been this year.
Looks like once more. It's a reoccurring trend. The first few minutes of every single period, it looks like we're just on our heels on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Nice hustle by Anders Lee. My God, never seen him skate that hard in years. And there's my boy Bailey making a play on the puck.
Oh, wow. Man, that's how you know. Grumpy, are you sure we're not in the upside down? Are you sure we're not in hell?
Hey, I tell you what, I wore my Hey Josh Bailey shirt today. I just had a feeling he's going to do well today. Don't ask me why. I felt it yesterday as well, but not in yesterday's game. I said he's going to have a good game against the Kraken.
Oh, good gracious. Good gracious.
I could be wrong.
Now this Kraken team has got a lot of building to do. You were never going to see the same success out of a brand new team, out of that expansion team like you saw in the Vegas Golden Knights. You never were going to see that duplicated again.
Well, they had 2 different directions they went with the expansion draft, and like I said, there were quite a few selections that I'm like, why are you making that selection? There's so many better players from other teams that didn't make that much money. They had a plan, though. Ron Francis, who's the GM, has a plan. Let's see what happens.
Now, tell me a little bit more. You said that they went kind of in opposite directions there when they were building the team. What do you mean by that?
They went for a lot of they picked a whole lot of defensemen, and, I mean, virtually no centers in their organization. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I was really surprised because when we did the expansion draft special, I was really surprised with some of the picks they made. I don't have my paper in front of me who I predicted they should pick, but they could have fielded a really good team, and they didn't. and the money would have been fine, honestly. But like I said, they were looking for something else. Like I said, they have a lot of good defensemen. So maybe that helps them at the trade deadline, trying to move players out. I mean, like I said, I am not privy to Ron Francis's plan, to be honest with you.
Well, there's one thing that we can go ahead and say to bring this back to the Islanders, right? The Seattle Kraken are going to be sellers at the NHL trade deadline, and so should the Islanders. Holy shit! Who is in net and about a million miles out of the crease?
That was Grubauer, but that
God.
looked off. That looked like offsides coming in, and I think Seattle just stopped playing because they thought it looked offsides to me. So I mean, they're going to show the replay here. I'll be interested to see. Yeah, they were offsides.
Oh wow! Well,
I mean, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Covered the puck, but that would have been challenged by Seattle.
Michael M saying Grumpy, TJ and Grumpy. What's up, Michael? How are you?
I like Michael. He's wearing the old fisherman jersey.
Oh, who doesn't love it? Who doesn't love it?
I like it.
Tony Cheese saying here, TJ thinks that pigeons are government spies and the moon is an alien human observation station.
I think that's Tony putting his thoughts in your mouth.
Tony might be on to something right there. But the Islanders, again, what should we expect from today's game, Grump? I don't think you're going to see a blow up by any margin. I would, though, still be shocked if the Islanders lost. Again, we're noticing the reoccurring trend of more and more open and empty seats at UBS Arena. What a shock.
When your team doesn't win, that's what happens. I tell you what, just starting, I like the way Seattle, for one of the worst teams in the league, is doing a nice job getting back defensively. I mean, after watching Philadelphia and Arizona and all the other crappy teams we've been cleaning up on, just look like a hodgepodge out there. It looks like they have a little bit of structure to their game. And I believe that Haskell is their coach, who used to be with Philadelphia.
Well, you'll be very interested to know the Islanders have not yet registered a shot on net. So right now we're being outshot at the moment by the Seattle Kraken 5-0 about 5 minutes into the first period.
Yeah, it's been a little bit open, and I like that, honestly.
Yeah. Joe H saying it is, and that's all true. The earth is flat and lizard people want to own all the power. Elon Musk is a robot. Anthony R saying so much is going with the hot hand. So much for going with the hot hand, Barry. WTF.
Well, he said WFT. Maybe that's Washington football team.
The Washington football team. I think he meant to say WTF. The Islanders got this. I agree, Jake. I think this is the game the Islanders have. I think that I'd be more shocked if they lost than if they won. That's
I realize the chances of us making the playoffs are like really slim. But if you are to have any chance, you cannot lose to these lesser teams. You just can't. I mean, we struggle beating good teams, but losing the lesser teams is a non-starter going forward.
There's Hayden Fleury. Here's the thing. When you look at it, right, the Islanders need to do one thing or the other. I think that it's too far gone. I don't think we're making the playoffs. And if that's the case, no need to be winning games and adding points to the total when your team has no chance of making the playoffs. I mean, we're so many points back. And oh, look at that juicy rebound. Varlamov lets up. But again, hey, the issue has not been goaltending this season by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, Varlamov and Sorokin might let in a weekie here or there.
Yeah.
It's been our inability to score. It's as simple as that.
Yes. And like I said, and this is against the lesser teams in the league. I mean, wait till we haven't played a whole lot of really good teams.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Drew L says, here's your boy, Bailey.
I tell you what, I was stunned. I'm like, 7 on the back of the, I said, that Matt Martin, that's a little bit too fast for him. Who's the number 7? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's average Anders Lee. Look at him hustling. Maybe they read him the riot act. Maybe Barry said something to him.
You know what? I like to see, though, the effort and the hustle.
Yeah, me too. That's half the problem with these guys. They just float around like, they figure they got a free pass. Got to earn it on the ice every day, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Grumpy. But you're about now 7 minutes into the first period. Been uneventful. I know you said the game's a little open. It hasn't been necessarily entertaining. That being said, Islanders haven't mustered up really any offensive zone pressure. Seattle has done a good job of keeping everything to the periphery, and as soon as the Islanders have a zone entry, just like here with Kyle Palmieri, he's immediately dispossessed of the puck, and the Seattle Kraken do a good job of dumping and getting a change.
Well, they've been playing, like I said, Seattle's been playing. That's a questionable icing. Seattle's been playing pretty good defensively as of recent. So, I guess that's kind of the way you got to look at it. There's a nice picture of Jordan Eberle. He's looking good in the emerald and teal or whatever the heck those colors are.
White and light blue. Rich A says, I think we may be able to move Nelson to Minnesota for Fiala. Fiala is due a raise. So the money, I think, would work. We would trade a 20, goal scoring center for a 20 goal scoring winger that has speed to play with Matt Barzal.
Why would Minnesota want to do that? See, that's the whole thing. Why would Minnesota want to do that? I know they like Fiala.
Oh, here we go. Here's Josh Bailey. Oh my God. Did you just see that whiff?
Oh my God.
Josh Bailey with the mighty whiff. We still have not registered. Oh, maybe. I think there's our first shot on net, ladies and gentlemen. Only takes us quite some time to get it.
How Josh Bailey, just so weak on the lower hand. I know Butch yesterday was shredding Beauvillier for, he's not strong enough on his lower hand. I mean, is there any hand that Josh Bailey is strong on?
And again, I don't think Beauvillier has played all that. Oh my God. Who was that? He just took a trip. And God damn it, Bailey.
Yeah.
I tell you, that is honestly the laziest.
Lazy.
Tripping penalties are just generally speaking a lazy penalty. That was even more. That was probably the laziest tripping penalty. Not only just a lazy penalty, that was the laziest lazy penalty I've ever seen.
Well, I don't know.
Watch the replay. Watch Josh Bailey. There's no reason for him to stick his stick in between a guy's skates. He was stride for stride with him, and he was just kind of gliding around. I don't get that.
How bad does Eberle want to score against the Islanders tonight?
Oh, he's
Oh, so they do a nice little tribute for him, which is good. I think they're really, really good at that. The Islanders are really exceptional at that.
Absolutely.
For former players.
And Kevin Fiala, he's young too. I mean, like he's 25 years old. He's due for a raise. I'm not sure. I mean, like maybe if Minnesota wants some veteran leadership, and that's a place where Brock grew up. So maybe it's like him going home. Drew L said, by the way, Barry yesterday said that he likes Wahlstrom as a goal scorer, but his ability to be a grinder sucks, and that's why he doesn't get more ice time.
Again, not every player on your team is a grinder. You want to know why we're in the situation we're in? Because, like I've said before, Barry thinks he wants everyone to be a grinder.
And Drew, if you send that to us, I'll look at that after.
Absolutely.
What we'll do is we'll go right after the game. We cover the live game today. We'll go and do our podcast. Look at Jordan Eberle with the ear-to-ear smile on his face. Happy to be back.
I mean, the fans giving him applause too. Really good. Really good.
He's a guy who wanted to stay here with the Islanders. He's a guy who's liked by the community.
Yeah.
He never did anything poor. I mean, like, look at that. I mean, it's postseason play too. You forget 34 points over 49 postseason games for the Islanders.
And, he sacrificed his offensive game to fit into Barry Trotz's system.
Absolutely.
And I give him credit for that.
Absolutely, Grumpy. Jeremy F saying, good Wednesday evening, fellas. Hope you're having a great show and another Islanders win. I think that's what we want, right? That's a good question. I'll be honest. If you continue to lose games, at least, it's a foregone conclusion. Hey, we sell at the deadline. There's no reason to stand pat. You need to make adjustments. What you don't want to see happen is us get so close to the playoffs where they think they can roll out the same exact team next year and that it will produce a different result. That's what I don't want.
Yeah.
Double Buck Prep says, hello all. What's up, Double? Oh yeah, plus you pay too. Washington Commanders now, Grumpy.
Yeah, I know
that tomorrow. The Washington Commanders.
I just whatever.
It's generic. It's a generic name, but whatever. The Islanders are on the penalty kill.
I hear there are some people complaining about it because, a commander in the show The Handmaid's Tale, a fictional book, no less. The commander is like an evil male figure. And so they're upset by that. I'm like, okay, it's a freaking book of fiction.
I thought commander is like a military term.
No, it is. But there's a character in the Handmaid's Tale who's known as the commander.
I don't read books. So
we know. We can tell just by the way you read.
I can't even tell you what the hell.
There's no way you read a book.
Is. I don't read books.
My God, he doesn't listen to music. He doesn't read. He doesn't watch movies. I don't know what he does.
I exist. That's about it. Seattle really hasn't had too many chances there on the power play opportunity.
No.
About a minute left there, Grumpy Old Man, on the power play.
Well,
And
that's what we want. That's what we want on a penalty kill, right? It barely seems like they're on the power play, honestly.
I'm at 10 minutes and 50 seconds. You might be a little ahead of me.
Okay.
But, here we got, might be a little bit of a shorthanded opportunity. Jean-Gabriel Pageau kind of throws the puck past the net. But, the Islanders did a good job on the penalty kill. I mean, you could tell Seattle does not have much offensive talent.
No, they do not. But they're risk adverse, and they play a solid defensive game, except for that.
Oh, my God. Holy crap. On the power play, they make a bad pass. Look at Jean-Gabriel Pageau trying to go ahead and put on a little bit of a deke to get an opportunity against the Grubauer.
And then he kicks it all the way out as opposed to turning the puck over down deep, throws it back to his defense all the way down there, which is effectively going to end the rest of the power play. Good job by JGP.
Yeah, good job. Jean-Gabriel Pageau hasn't looked great this season, has showed issues, but is looking, pretty good here to start today's game. Joseph C. said the Kraken have played well in the last 3 games. They can't score, but they played solid defense. They were tough against my Rangers and the other night too.
Yeah, they played, like I said, they're improving their defensive style.
Absolutely. Rich A saying here, I don't know. Minnesota is weak down the middle, so we got $6 million. We pay Nelson and we get some cap space. We get rid of Nelson, we get some cap space.
I don't see why they would want to trade Fiala.
Yeah, I was about to say he's a young guy who's performing. No way they move him, especially for a 30-year-old. Or how old is Nelson? Is he 29 or 30?
30.
A 30-year-old center like that. Scott L saying, "Hey boys, what's up, Scott?" Alexander saying, "Hey, good evening, guys. Tuned in. Glad to hear Jiggs McDonald broadcast the game. He's a legend."
Very true. Very true.
Hope you guys and your family are doing well as well. God bless. Yeah, absolutely, Alexander. Right back at you. And then, Scott Ellis or also saying here, nice to see Jiggs call the game. Grew up listening to him and Eddie.
Yep, without a doubt.
Okay, Grumpy. Alexander saying, Bailey, swing and a miss out there. Swing and a miss, and you're out. Minnesota.
Bailey's nickname, if he played baseball, would be the Mighty Casey. You ever heard that story about the Mighty Casey?
No.
He struck out.
Okay,
You've never heard the story of the Mighty Casey?
What is it, one strikeout? No, I've never heard the story of the Mighty Casey.
Look it up. I'm not going to go into it now because we're doing a podcast about the Islanders game, but yeah, it's an interesting story. There's no joy in Mudville. The Mighty Casey is struck out.
What the hell is this? Mighty Casey has struck out. Oh, well, I'm not worried about it. You got to come here. Alexander saying here, and Bailey takes a stupid penalty. What a freaking moron. Joel Eriksson Eck. And then Scott L is saying he is never out of the lineup, but he should be talking about Josh Bailey.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Just on Barry Trotz saying, well, Oliver Wahlstrom he needs to work on his grinding game. Does Josh Bailey have a grinding game? Does he play a grinding style? Does Anders Lee play a grinding style?
Anders Lee plays more of a grinding style than both of those players.
But I'm saying Wahlstrom grinds just as much as Anders Lee does.
Okay. I don't disagree.
Villiers is more of a grinder. I consider him more of a grinder. Pageau, Parise, yes. But Pageau, yes. The fourth line, yes. But Josh Bailey, no. And Anders Lee, for the most part, no. I just, like I said, I hate when he makes those comments because I don't think he thinks about what the other guys on the team don't do as well. And he singles out a young guy for that, criticism.
Okay. Well, we got plenty to talk about that during the postgame, Grump. No need for you to talk about it all during today's show and during the postgame. Alexander says, Trotz, instead of going after Wahlstrom, how about you go after that bum Bailey? Absolutely, that bum. And The Handmaid's Tale is a show on Hulu, Grumpy. Well, that explains why I've never heard of it. Should be named the Washington Social Justice Warriors. God almighty.
Well, I don't think you're even allowed to use Warriors now. They'd love that. Social Justice Warriors. That would be okay. But Warriors, no, because it's a connotation of, Indians as savages. So you can't do that either.
Okay, let's get through these comments here. Tony G saying their logo. Oh, God almighty. Caucasian guy wearing Starbucks coffee and a vape pen. Oh God. Mark A saying, take a shot. Yeah, absolutely. Double Out Buck Prep says Tonelli and Trottier were grinders, but Bossy, pound for pound, the greatest scorer of all time. Was a sniper, not a grinder. Wallstrom should be out every night, and they should be feeding him.
That's right. Not every player is the same skill set.
Yeah. And Druell says, honestly, if you think about Josh Bailey, it's like Rudy Stein if he played hockey.
Rudy Stein.
Bad News Bears reference.
Take one for the team, Rudy. Don't worry. Let this one hit you in the shoulder then. I don't want to do it, coach.
Look at that. I mean, we have not had many opportunities. We're about 10 minutes into the period, about 12 minutes actually. We have not had many offensive opportunities. The Seattle defense, it's going to be a defensive fight. I'll be honest. If you go up 2 goals, this game's over. Don't care who scores, Seattle or the Islanders.
Either team.
2 goals. Yeah, that's what. Yep, I'm trying to say that. If you go up 2 goals, you're not losing this game. Doesn't matter.
I'll tell you what. If you're Seattle, if you're a Seattle fan, I mean, you have to play. You have to look. You're kind of pleased with how they're performing right now. Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of offensive talent, but they play a buttoned-up Barry Trotz style hockey.
Adam Pelech just got walked around. Just got walked around out there on the edge. I don't know if you saw it as you were talking about the style.
He's an all-star. He's an all-star, though. He's all right.
Yeah. Again, it didn't cost us anything. Mayfield getting away with a little bit of clutching and grabbing and interference. But hey, they don't call it. You keep doing it. Simple as that. John P. says, hello, gentlemen. Casey at the bat, a poem by Ernest Lawrence Thayer.
I knew John would have that. He's like the smartest guy who listens to us. Well, I don't know if he's the smartest guy. He's the most learned. Let's just put it to you that way.
Drew L says, also, don't forget about the other Trotz press conference, a.k.a. the good one. Oh, trust me.
We haven't forgotten about that one.
We'll be talking about that. Brett W. says, love that Jiggs is back in, if only just even for one game.
Yeah, I watched him have his little pregame conversation with Butch, and it was interesting. He had a couple little bullet points they fed him. He's starting to show a little bit of age. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be close to 80, though, right?
Yeah, Jakes McDonald's getting up there, man. Oh, for certain. Tony G's saying, I give you props for reading the logo comment, but no props for fudging the joke up.
Well, it's because TJ's not funny either.
Oh, look at that. Scott L says here, wow, TJ actually knew about the Bad News Bears. Wow. He knew a pop culture reference. Yes, I did. Lucky me. Be honest, this period you talk about a slow start. My God, we've just been hemmed in our own zone. We haven't had much offensive pressure. We have a difficult time carrying the puck over their blue line. We can't get any type of consistent zone pressure in the Seattle zone. It's not been a good start. I understand Seattle's really been playing better. They're a defensive-minded team. But through the first 13 minutes, we have looked neutered at best. We have looked neutered.
Barry looks constipated.
He looks pissed, dude, because do you blame him? Right now, we've got one freaking shot on net. 13 minutes in against the Seattle Kraken at home, we're being outshot 7-1.
Well, we can grind.
That's what happens when you don't focus any on the offensive side of the puck and you don't have the personnel to play more of an offensive style of game. Right now, being outshot 7-1 to the Seattle Kraken, the expansion team at home in the first period. So, again, it's not the whole game, but it's not a harbinger for good things. Want You to Decide says, the Bad News Bears. There's a completely un-PC movie from the 70s. Great movie.
Anyone who has children who play sports and like dads want to coach should watch that movie. It should be prerequisite to coaching. It's so good. It is so good and so true. I can't even tell you.
And then Sal P here saying, hey, fellas, look at that in his great shirt. His Matty and the Jag shirt. You know what he can get that, Grumpy? He can get a great shirt like that in the merchandise store in the link in the description below. He says, hey, fellas, another slow start at home versus another bad team. A little over 10 minutes in and maybe a couple of shots. These guys can't create anything, and Bailey is horrible. Anybody who thinks he's good just doesn't get hockey.
Barry thinks he's good.
Oh, man, I tell you, this is look at here we go. We might catch him on a break. Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They might get lucky and catch him on a break. But I mean,
Scott did a good job of back checking. Look how quickly, right? We had a 3-on-2 situation, but it was such a slow developing 3-on-2. They were able to get 2 forwards back and to turn that into where they had numbers and the defensive advantage.
They're good defensively. And that's what happens. If you can't score, you have to be good defensively.
Yep. Got to do one or the other. Ooh. Look at that. Let's see.
Big set man. Grubauer
Oh,
left a huge rebound there, didn't he?
I was about to say that's the Islanders' second shot of the period. Now 15 minutes in, but Brock Nelson with a little bit of a shot, or with a shot on that. I tell you, I think it was deflected. That's why I gave up such a big juicy rebound.
Is it too early to say they remind me of us
With less talent,
year?
is that even worse to say they remind me of us with even less talent?
Well, I'm just saying style of play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Style of play. I mean, they remind me of us, and they have even less talent than us.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have talent. That's how you have to play.
Yeah,
but
John,
I'm just saying, stylistically, that's how Barry likes to play. Honestly, solid in your own defensive zone. Yeah, you come up as a group, you go back as a group. Look at how they're back checking every one of them. It's pretty good.
Yep, you're seeing a devotion and a thought process to the style. That's always important. John P says Jigs is 83. Grumpy. Wow.
I knew he was getting up there.
Rich A said, honestly, it's pretty hard to see what we can really sell at the deadline. What, Clutterbuck, Mayfield, maybe? Mayfield's going to get you a lot. Kyle Clutterbuck will get you probably maybe a second. Maybe even if it's a third, it's still fine. I'm taking it. I mean, Chara maybe as a depth defenseman, somebody will give up maybe a 6th or a 7th round pick for Chara. I mean, Parise, if you sell him, what is he? Maybe a 4th. I mean, I think you could sell a few of these guys. Maybe I said
he's a 5th. He's a 5th at best.
If Chara's going for a 6, who's a depth defenseman at best, at least Parise's performed a little bit and shows effort. Are you telling me you couldn't use like a guy like Parise as a 4th liner?
Okay, you're not going to get yourself a 4th round pick for him. I mean, here's the thing. I bet you
we traded essentially a 4th round pick for freaking Travis Zajac last year.
We're dumbasses.
They're all teams of dumbasses at the trade deadline. It's not just applicable to us. There's a lot of dumb teams out there.
They're not trading.
Like trying to keep the point. Trying to make you. Ooh, nice little opportunity. But Varlamov gobbles it up. He buries it right into his crest.
Yeah, not much of a save attempt.
4
minutes to go in the first period.
Yeah, well, Grumpy, Drew L saying here, Seattle Kraken's coach looks like Draco Malfoy.
Wow.
Aged 50 years.
Wow.
That's a little Harry Potter reference. Yeah.
Wow, look at TJ's got that one too. He's on a roll with the pop culture references today.
I'm killing the pop culture department today, guys. Alexander says they should do one game for old time's sake. I think is what I meant to say. The old school sports channel intro and have Eddie Westfall and Jigs with the sports channel old hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Tongue tied.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Kanye, the Giant, says, is the NHL doing well as a league? Adding 2 more teams seems risky, but I'm sure they know better than me.
I haven't heard that they're thinking about expanding again.
No, they're talking about with Vegas and Seattle over the last few years. They've added 2 teams.
Okay.
I guess the salary cap has helped smaller markets. Well, yeah.
I don't think the salary cap helps the markets. It limits what the big teams can spend. So I guess maybe in that way, yeah, maybe. But
these owners are not poor. All these owners are very wealthy. If they want to use the money, they can. I think about it. The salary cap maximum is $81.5 million. All these people who own these sports organizations, the arena, the rights, the insurance, all this other nonsense adds up probably more expenses than what if they're still paying on a stadium is more expensive probably than it is for the player salaries or comparable.
Yeah. To me, it's like the salary cap is used to help stupid owners who spend crazy like that. And then they complain about it as an after. Oh my gosh, we spend this much money.
Like Kovalchuk.
Yeah, so they have to, they help. It helps them actually.
Scott L saying here, surprised Varlamov hasn't let a softie in yet, but he'll wait until there's 0.1 seconds left in the period.
I'm going to say maybe 2 or 3 seconds left. I don't think he wants to cut it that close. Look at how aggressive they are on the forecheck.
I was about to say they're beating us to the loose pucks right now. And again, I don't think either teams look great. And that's freaking Jordan Eberle fighting down low against Scott Mayfield. That's right. Man, don't you love the effort from Jordan Eberle, old Islander? Look at that. He helps fight to keep the puck in the zone. Good for Jordan Eberle. Again, never have any ill will towards him.
No,
that doesn't count as a shot. It's technically off. We only have, I think, 2 shots on net so far this period.
If this was like Russia, you would see Matt Barzell trying to get snuck out in like a gym bag or something with the Kraken team to get back with Jordan Eberle.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, did you see, Grumpy Old Man, on a different topic? You saw the pass that Oliver Wahlstrom made. It was a nice, crisp pass in front of the net to Jean-Gabriel Pageau, who happened to fan on the shot opportunity. Did you see that?
Yeah, but it's okay. He's allowed to fan on those.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. He's a vet, so it's all good. My God, we're getting beat to the loose pucks behind the net. We just got outworked behind our own net by the Seattle Kraken. My goodness.
Pellick just got away with a hold. That's okay. We'll take that.
Why are you singing like that? Pellick just got away with the hold. That's okay. We'll take that. I mean, I want some enthusiasm out of you, Grump. What is this?
I'm happy we get away. All right. Have we looked good? What do I have to be enthused about right now? Can you tell me?
I don't know, Grumpy. Your job when you're on here is to be enthused, even when the Islanders are not, and to entertaining to watch. Your job is to be entertaining. My job is to try to be entertaining. You're the entertaining one, Grump.
Well, that's true.
Drew L says here, I feel sorry for people who drafted Grubauer in fantasy this year. He's been abysmal.
Anybody who drafted Grubauer in fantasy this year, that was just dumb.
Yeah,
with an expansion team. I don't know what you're expecting out of him.
They were they counted that as a shot. I thought that was off target. I wasn't sure. Goals in back-to-back games, 12 games without a goal before that. And they're talking about, and they're highlighting Oliver Wahlstrom. Tony Chi saying Boston should trade for Chara and put him out of his misery.
They've already tried to do that. He wouldn't bite.
Oh man. Scott L is saying a lot of people want to unload guys with money and term, but ask yourselves, other teams aren't lining up to take anyone off the Islanders roster. I was about to say, they got to be guys on short-term deals like your Scott Mayfields. He's on a fantastic deal, and guys on one-year deals on like rentals. Those are guys you'd be able to move. You would probably have to give something up to get rid of Josh Bailey, or there would have to be a team. He's more of an off-season move, because if there's a team that's trying to meet the cap floor, maybe you can get rid of a guy like Bailey, but that's the best case scenario for us.
Or guys who fit a specific need for a team.
I mean, he has performed in the playoffs, so maybe people will just ignore all the regular.
I'm not talking about Josh Bailey. I'm not talking about him.
Oh, Alexander says, breaking news. Harbaugh was going to return to Michigan.
I mean, would you want to coach Minnesota?
I don't know. They've got weapons, but Kirk Cousins. Oh, it's cold in Michigan too. What is that? Yeah. Dude, this has been a boring period. Holy shit. Teams playing the Islanders style of hockey. I'm sure, as you can imagine, there was not many fireworks.
Well, styles make games, right? These are two teams that play the same style. And I mean, I do feel we have more offensive firepower than the Kraken do. But if they had anyone who could finish, they might be ahead in this game.
Tony G is saying here, I bet TJ knows all about reality TV like Jersey Shore and 90 Day Fiance. I've never watched Jersey Shore. I know there's one character called The Situation, and there's Snooki, and that's it. Warzone Senior Citizen says team would be better with Eberle, but they got better than that. Better with Eberle, but or better with Ebbs than that bum Palmieri.
That's true, but Palmieri bought a house in the area, so that's how he got the house. Well, I play for the New York Islanders, so that's it was on his application, so there's no way they could let him go.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Meatball Parm says, good evening. Hearing Jigs call the game is so nostalgic.
It is. That's from the glory days.
Mm-hmm. About a minute left in the period. Have been a very unimpressive one by the Islanders.
Well, the Islanders putting good pressure here the last minute and a half.
It's the fourth line. And again, they get a few swipes at it in front of the net, but that's about it. Want You to Decide says, you should be enthused because our fourth line is so great, Grumpy.
Are they, though? Are they?
They're the best fourth line in hockey. Of course. That's a reason to be excited. Rich A is saying, Wally with the lowest ice time. Wally with the lowest ice time. Please don't tell. Is that today he's got the lowest ice time? Please don't tell me that's true.
I don't know. We're looking at the end of the period.
Oh.
Would it shock me? No.
Oh, Jesus. He does not have much ice time.
It's just so Barry Trotz, isn't it?
And this is going to be a dull, boring game. Trotz is probably going to play more of the defensive-minded guys because, hey, we're in a defensive battle. We're going to out-defense the Seattle Kraken.
I'll bet Palmieri gets plenty of time.
I bet you Parise and Palmieri, players like that, do get a lot of time today. Tony Chi saying, laughing my ass off. You don't understand the contradiction in the statement. Your job, Grump, is to be enthusiastic. Because I guess he's Grump. He can't be enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I don't need him saying, I need him to be the entertaining. Man, oh, my God.
Again, when we're doing these watch-alongs with the games, somebody actually has to pay attention to what's going on.
I'm watching the game, Grumpy.
I know it's difficult for you to comprehend. Barry's pissed. Lambert's going, Barry, you stupid bastard. I told you to play the young kid, just like in Youngblood. Hey, Youngblood. What the hell was the coach's name? What was his last name?
I don't know, Grump.
Okay. Well, his daughter yelled, hey, coach, how about putting in Youngblood? About time.
Oh my gosh. Youngblood's coach's name was Chadwick.
Chadwick. That's it, Chadwick. I gotta watch that movie again.
Ed Lauder? I think is his
Ed
name?
Lauder, he was the actor. Yep.
Hey, Chadwick.
Ed Lauder was also in he played Captain Canower in the original The Longest Yard.
I was about to say that's the first thing I see popping up, The Longest.
Oh yeah. He was good at that.
Kanye the Giant says, I think Grumpy was referencing Russian players defecting.
Yes.
Either way, I read the book about the Red Wings sneaking those guys out of the country in the 80s and 90s. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's what they used to do. They had to sneak them out of the country to get asylum.
Mm-hmm. Alexander says, oh, look, Kyle Palmieri, Josh Bailey 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, invisible, right? What is he? Can you tell me what Kyle Palmieri has done to earn his spot back? I don't know. He's been invisible. Why, if he's just that terrible and is doing absolutely nothing, why isn't Kiefer Bellows back out there?
Because we don't need to score. We're going to have to out defense the defensive team like the Seattle Kraken. That's what it is. Melissa Gonclave says L. Okay, fair enough. JG says, if we only had Eddie Westfall in the booth with Jigs tonight.
Yeah.
Chadwick was a coach. Yep, absolutely. Alexander saying Josh Bailey needs to work at the UBS concession or the concession stand.
No, he needs to be out in front of the stadium. One of those guys who twirls the signs, but he probably dropped that too. So maybe not.
Oh, Lou R says it's nice to hear Jigs old time hockey. Grump, he kisses Trots' ass. Oh gosh. And then Rich A saying now we have Bailey 2.0 and Ladd 2.0. Yeah. And not a good first period by the Islanders. That's for certain.
Maybe it's my bias against those type of players, but it just seemed maybe it's not. I don't know. It's just frustrating when I see them going after the same guys to replace the original pieces of shit, and now we just have new ones.
I'll let you see the whole page there, Grump. We were outshot 11-5. And again, we did have a few chances towards the tail end of the period, but that was a very uninspiring game, a very uninspiring period for us. Generally speaking, we perform worse in the second period. So I hope this is not a harbinger for an even worse performance in the second period.
I cannot imagine us playing worse than the first period.
Yikes. I mean, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, wake up. We're at the end of the first intermission. Go get yourself a little bit of a sandwich. Ooh, man. I tell you, because I mean that was a snooze fest. It could put you to sleep that period. Good gracious.
Very true.
Oh man, Grumpy. Yeah, the Seattle Kraken. Ooh. Tony Shee saying, what's the name of that book, Kanye? I don't know what that means, Kanye the Giant. Alexander says here, we need to arrest Kyle Palmieri for robbing the Islanders without a gun and a mask. There's the rest of the comment. Oh, man. I mean, the Islanders wanted to bring him. I mean, like, it's simple as that. Unfortunately, right? We wanted to sign him here, even though he was not an upgrade.
Do you remember the one guy I said I did not want last trade deadline? You remember? And I was vocal about it for weeks leading up to who's the one guy I didn't want? One freaking guy that I did not want. Do you remember who it was? And I was adamant about it. Every single podcast I talk about it. The one guy I don't want was
Kyle Palmieri.
Thank you very much. Have I been proven right again? Thank you very much. Because I'll just, what happened there, TJ? Looks like we got ourselves a different container.
What I was doing is I was walking around the neighborhood, so you might notice the fire hydrant. It's actually it's in rehab. I dropped it when I was walking around the neighborhood, and I busted the cap off, and I had to yank it off with pliers, the rest of it off. So I had to order it from like a special site. It's like $6 for a freaking cap. I was like, oh God.
So the cap got bent?
No, the cap busted in half. Went in one spot, went shot across the neighborhood, and the other one was just like stuck and cemented, still in screwed. So I had to grab some pliers and yank that thing out.
What a loser. What a loser.
What a loser. What a loser. Lou R saying here, is the organization trying to get their money's worth out of these contracts like Josh Bailey, Palmieri, and so on? That's a good question.
If they would have listened to me, they never would have signed those guys to those extensions.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that Barry plays these veterans because he likes to play veterans and he'd rather play the veterans? Or now do you think after poor performances, he's continuing to play the veterans because those are also the guys who get paid?
No.
Right? How would it look if Barry and Lou in this last offseason go ahead and sign back Kyle Palmieri, and he's sitting on the bench as a healthy scratch because he's performed poorly for a stretch of games? Do you think that looks like gross negligence and incompetence on the part of the general manager and the head coach for wanting Kyle Palmieri to be part of the situation, and if they would bench him because of poor play?
Okay, so what's your actual question? You went on for 10 minutes asking a question. I had an answer, and then you went on to some other diatribe. What is your question, please? Try to keep it simple.
Does Grumpy think that Kyle Palmieri plays despite poor performance because he is a veteran, but also because he earned a contract this offseason that gets him paid a lot of money?
Okay, no. I think he plays because he's a veteran. And then I believe you also opined on something. Well, how would it make them look if they sat him? You know what it would make them look like? They're playing the best player. That's what it would make it look like.
What I'm asking you is how does it not make the signing look hideously and woefully bad? Like, what we can all say, right, he's not playing well, but it looks even worse when they say, oh yeah, the guy we just signed this offseason is not going to.
I got it.
I'm saying it for the people who are listening, not for you, Grumpy.
They don't want to hear you anymore. Believe me. I'm just going to drink whatever it is you were drinking over there. Let me go. Let me entertain. Let me be enthusiastic.
Okay? You know what Grumpy wants you to say? And there's a shot to the Varlamov, and he wasn't challenged very much on that. That's not your job to be a golf commentator, huh? Get the hell out of here.
I don't think. Here's the thing. As a fan, I could care less. Anyone with a brain knew that was a terrible signing. If they didn't, they weren't listening to this show because I was saying it as soon as it happened. That was a bad signing. He's the last guy I'd want to resign. Why? Because he turned a couple of good playoff series against where they had no goalie and a broken hip goalie, and he scored goals. He did nothing in the regular season for us. Nothing. So me as a fan, that's a write-off. I don't care that they did that, but you know what it does say to me? You're too headstrong. Instead of playing the better player, you're going to continue to ride the veteran. I don't think it has anything to do with money. Like I mentioned before, Billy Martin would do that, I almost think, to piss off Steinbrenner when he was manager of the Yankees. But here's the thing. The players, he always played the best players. Always. And he'd bring in guys from the minors who maybe most people didn't think deserved a shot. But what does it do? It gives everyone in your organization know if you come out there and produce and work hard, you have a shot to make the big leagues. That's not the case for the New York Islanders.
You said that you couldn't care, Grumpy. I want you to listen.
I believe everything that anyone else has watched to them.
What does it mean to you now when the team is struggling?
I want to kiss you. I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
I need to clip that to where I could just use it all the time. I couldn't care less about the team struggling. Oh, man. Good old Broadway Joe.
I love Joe Namath.
Who doesn't?
And the white shoes. See, nobody wore white shoes. Nobody. You realize
I wore white shoes.
No one wore white shoes back then. No one. He was the first guy to wear white shoes. The first player to wear white shoes. And he did it with style. Holy shit. He was great, Joe Namath. Great.
Alexander's saying, yep, you got to rest in there. Deidre C saying, wow, only 5 shots. What do they need to do to wake themselves up? A wholesale trade. Pathetic.
Dump them all. Burn it to the ground and start over.
I like this one by double. Josh Snaley and Kyle play like Mary.
Oh, That's a good one.
I was about to say it's good.
Oh, pray
Christopher
like
C-
Mary. I couldn't have come up with it better myself. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Christopher C said, "Grumpy TJ, your thoughts? Did you agree with us letting Eberle go? Was it worth the sacrifice?"
I did. And it wasn't necessarily Eberle that I wanted to be gone, but I understand why he was exposed. We needed to free up salary cap space because of the hideous signings that Lou Lamoriello had made the 2 previous seasons. So somebody had to go. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, "Oh no, I didn't want Eberle to go." I didn't care who it was, and it was Eberle. I'm like, that's $5.5 million off our cap. That's the way I looked at it.
And looking back on it, and looking with hindsight, always being 2020, how much sense would it have made for the Islanders to say, "We're going to give you a 3rd round pick for you to take Josh
What's with the
Bailey."
Stevie Wonder thing going on?
I'm just saying,
Kane over there.
I'm looking back in disbelief, thinking to myself, "Holy shit, we kept Josh Bailey." Jordan Eberle's, here's the thing. Jordan Eberle is scoring goals for the Seattle Kraken. Even shitty teams have players who score. And again, he would not have anywhere near the amount of goals he has with the Kraken he would have with us. But thinking about it, could you imagine if we would have given a 3rd round pick away to say, "Hey, maybe you're up in the air of who to select. Pick Josh Bailey instead of Jordan Eberle. We'll give you a 3rd round pick." Could you have imagined? I'm not saying it would have made us night and day better, but I think we're a better team with Jordan Eberle than we are Josh Bailey. I mean, he's quite obviously, Josh Bailey's got another 2 years, and he's been woefully bad this year. I don't expect him to have a bounce back next year or the year after.
He was bad since he was playing in the juniors. He sucks.
And it's the Russian 5 by Keith Gave, whatever that is. Alexander saying, "Yep, yes, Grump," said Kyle Palmieri. Tony Shee saying, "Thank you, my friend. I'm going to buy it for TJ, but not the book itself. I'll just get in the Audible version."
Wow, man, Tony Cheese burying TJ.
I usually like to listen to audio versions of books. I don't like reading.
But when would you listen to it? You don't listen to any music or anything in the car.
Maybe I can listen to an audiobook. Frank K says snooze fest. That was boring. Yes, it was. I was about to say, if you're still awake, hopefully the second period won't be as bad as the first. And then Apollo C says, "TJ, we're going to get a dozen hockey sticks for Parise. He's 36. Why would a team trade for him? There's so many younger players that can play the 4th line. Come on, man. He should retire." I'm saying at the trade deadline, you probably get about 4th or 5th round pick for him, because some team is going to want a guy who has veteran leadership, that's been in the playoffs before, and it's not new territory for him.
I agree.
Again,
And he only makes $750K, and it'll be way less, at that period in time. And it's, a 1-year deal. So he's an unrestricted free agent. I could absolutely see him being moved.
Alexander saying a big old F- for Kyle Palmieri.
That's right.
Tony Cheese saying his water jug committed suicide.
Oh, can you blame it? Can you blame the jug?
The bad thing is sometimes if I drop it too hard, it'll kind of get scraped.
Who the hell drops water jugs?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Water containers?
Let me finish. I'll drop it on the cement.
Oh. Is that how it goes?
I'm glad that your internet went shitty on that, so I didn't actually get to see any of your optics on it, so that's fine.
I'm DJ. Oh.
Your internet's bad, but that's fine. But I drop it, and sometimes it scrapes up the metal, and sometimes it'll cut me a little bit on the metal. So I gotta soften the metal back down if it gets scraped up.
What's wrong with you?
Craig the Bender says here, "Let's go Islanders." He's got a little Pete Alonso. He's got a polar bear Pete.
I do. I think he's a Mets fan.
Hell yeah, let's go Mets. Alexander says, "Wow, Shannon Hogan, the most entertaining part of the FF, or what is that?
I don't know.
FMS. I don't know what that is of the game. Sorry." Kevin H saying, Grumps, look what Kane is doing in Edmonton, adding one piece, and now the team is on the verge of 4 straight wins. Don't you think a significant move on our part wouldn't help right the ship?
No. What are you going to trade? 1st round draft pick? Man, Kevin looks good in this picture. I'm just going to say he looks good. Right? Doesn't he look sharp, man? He's in the jacket, nice button-up shirt. Looks good.
Well, there it is, Kevin.
Don't you think? I mean, I think he looks good.
He does. Take the compliment. You got to put it in your little. He
looks sharp. He looks sharp.
There it is.
But no, I don't. Nothing can help this team right now. Nothing can help this team right now.
Think about it. Evander Kane. And again, I know he has his issues, but the guy's talented. I mean, he's there for cheap. He's there to prove a deal. If you really were serious, and again, he says he's vaccinated now, why not take a chance and gamble on him if he's not a cancer in the locker room? That's a big if, though.
But he has been everywhere else he's been. I mean, in the short run, he's going to mind his
year. It'd be a 1 year thing. 1 year, prove it.
Yep.
So, I mean, how much of a cancer could he be if he wants his career to sustain?
He never would have fit in here, though.
Oh, I appreciate this one, Drew. Here you go, Grumpy. I got an image of you. So people want to go and people want to go ahead and throw little memes on that one with the face when Josh Bailey has a breakaway opportunity, doesn't get a shot on that grumpy face like that.
Oh, that's if he scores. Holy shit.
When Josh Bailey scores a goal. Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny. And Anders Lee hustles and plays defense. Wow. When Adam Pelech scores a goal like he did yesterday, a worldly goal. Wow. When Varlamov lets in a softie. Oh God. The picture and the gift that keeps on giving. Frank K says, best players play. End of story.
Thank you, Frank. I've been saying that for how long, TJ?
Oh, I agree with it.
Forever. That's how long.
I agree with it too. Rich A says, I don't think they know this season's over. Salo, Bellows, might as well bring up Samuel Bolduc and see if, they're NHL players at this point.
Absolutely. Let them play out the season, see who's going to be part of the solution.
JG says, the only way they could have played worse is if they took off their skates and were using brooms instead of hockey sticks.
I thought that is what they did in the first period. I was mistaken.
Craig the Bender says here, what do you think about Jordan Eberle?
I like him. He sacrificed his offensive game to play for the Islanders. That gets high marks from me. And he's a solid citizen. Loved playing with Matt Barzal. I mean, I don't know. Didn't seem like Matt Barzal was a better player when he was on the right wing.
Here's the thing. Jordan Eberle was streaky as hell, but let's be honest. It's the helicopter line. Eberle he's a second line right wing. In a good scenario, second line right wing on a good team. And again, you had the slow snail of average Anders Lee trailing the pack. And all last year, you were playing with freaking Leo Komarov and Travis Zajac on the first line. Man, they're playing 4-on-5 hockey every shift. What did you expect? Deidre C says, makes you wonder if Ledecky or Malkin think about losing Trotz. No way.
Probably wish they were losing their deposit to purchase the team.
Stop. It's not that bad. Nick D says, TJ Grump, how are you guys? The owners must know the performance of the veteran players are terrible. You wonder if they have questioned Lou and Barry. And what do you think, Grumpy?
I don't know. But if I was an owner, I'd be pissed at the product. And you know how I'd be pissed? When I'm looking at the seats and no one's there. The first year of a brand new arena. 20 some odd games in.
There are people there, but you could see slowly the new appeal of the arena starting to wear off a bit.
That's a concern.
That is a concern. Because this is a season where you should have sold out every game. Every game. Your team's come off of back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals, and you see the secondary market, in the lower bowl, it's selling for like $20 or $30 in New York, might I add. It's not like $20 and $30 in Wyoming or $20 or $30 in Alaska or $20 or $30 in Iowa. It's New York, $20 or $30. That's a meat. That's a meal at McDonald's.
I didn't think that Wyoming, Iowa, or Alaska had teams.
No, I'm just saying. You talk about the.
I understand your part. I do. I was just picking on you a little bit. That's all.
No worries. The Islanders start off here. The second period has dropped, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, we have a better period. First period was a snooze fest. It was woeful. We need a little bit better production and better performance out of the guys. Need a little more effort. We were getting beat to the loose pucks in that first period, and that's not something we see out of the Islanders all that often. Getting outworked and out-hustled by another team. It's rare. Ooh.
That looked like a little bit of interference by Yanni Gourde there.
Zach Parise got pitchforked there a bit.
No, he didn't get pitchforked, but it looked like he held his stick there for certain.
Tony Cheese saying a shit-faced Joe Namath can get that saying right. but you can't stop it. You can't stop saying it. I could care less. Oh, goodness gracious. I love that saying. Alexander said, what, Grumpy? What? What are you going?
Nothing.
Alexander, what? Because you didn't like the way I've read the comment? Or do I have to do a reread? Do I have to reread the sentence?
Shit-faced Joe Namath can get that saying right, but you can't stop saying I could care less.
Oh. Alexander is saying, well, guys, my uncle did say that was the best signing of the offseason because if it wasn't for me, or it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have gone to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Alexander, we have already established that your uncle doesn't know a whole lot about hockey. We went through this last year, and I'd love to talk to him on the show just to help him out.
Did you just see that shot attempt there by the Seattle Kraken?
It missed by Josh Bailey-like proportions. Oh my gosh, that's got to be a penalty.
Oh, God damn it. And it ends up being a 3-on-1. At least he draws the penalty. My God, look at this. Holy shit. Nice save by Varlamov. Point blank opportunity. Jesus. Okay. What? I mean, you talk about a comedy of errors.
That's okay, though. You got to take that penalty. You can't let him just skate in all alone.
I know.
I'm okay with that.
Was dispossessed of the puck at the blue line. He's stripped of the puck. They skate. Look at this. Oh, they put pressure on him, and he gets a 2-on-1, and he's just got to hook him because, honestly, that's a bullshit call. That is a weak ass.
Yeah, that's pretty
bullshit. A stick on the hip knocks a guy down. Get the hell out of here with that BS.
Ryan Donato, he felt it, and he went down.
Yep. Hey, man, acting. Maybe these players are starting to pick up acting classes. Our team does the same thing, but you don't like seeing it against you. We get to see Jordan Eberle on the power play. Maybe Jordan Eberle could score a power play goal. That would be just fitting. Our power play struggles, and Jordan Eberle comes in here and scores a power play goal.
They did have a power play chance in the first period, even though it didn't seem like it.
Oh, I know. Oh, that's right. They looked woeful on the power play too.
They have no talent on their power play. You can tell.
Michael T says, hey, TJ. Oh, I like this. Hey, TJ. Hey, Grump. Just tuning in to the game and to you guys. How did the Islanders look in the first? Awful. Why are we not winning 3-0? Because they beat us to every loose puck, and they looked more motivated than we were. And as usual, good to see you both. I like the new picture, Michael T.
I do too. I tell you, the fisherman's starting to gain some traction.
The fisherman. Oh, we got a. He just misses the.
You got to hit the net. If you're somebody shooting that close, you got to hit the net.
I was about to say, come on, man. That's like a practice shot. I mean, you didn't have any, but I mean, look at the Islanders box. It was so tight. They weren't putting any pressure on you. You still missed the net. They have 3 guys with sticks out there on the ice. 1 guy's without a stick, and you couldn't hit the net from point blank.
That's look at how they gain zone entry, though, right? They come in with speed. You ever notice our guys, we kind of slow up and glide into the zone? Come at it with speed.
Frank Hayes saying Seattle didn't want Bailey. I know they wanted Eberle more, but still, even if they had any type of contemplation about it, I mean, Bailey had just come off of a good point production. I'm using air quotes, good point production in the playoffs. I don't think they want him when they see Eberle and Bailey. I don't think they're like, holy crap, these are 2 guys we could build a franchise around. They're like, meh, whatever. They're guys just to buy the time until we can build up a team. Is it me, or does this game seem like 1-0? This game does have maybe a 0-0 until a shootout type of feel on it. What's going to happen here?
I'll tell you what, that should not be a penalty. Vince Dunn was somebody we were thought to maybe chase after on defense. Was formerly with St. Louis.
Holy crap, Vince Dunn throwing to the box. Wow. I mean, the Islanders, I think that's – you talk about the BS call against the Islanders on that very, very phantom hook or slash, whatever they called it on. I don't think this is a penalty, but the Islanders are going to be on the power play nonetheless. Good jump by Jean-Gabriel Pageau. When's the last time we could say that?
That's not a penalty.
That a penalty? That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Just like I complained about the prior one, that was a shitty penalty. That's a nice save too because it gets deflected. That is not. That's a weak ass penalty call.
He leans in, loses an edge.
He was already on the way down.
Yeah,
You even see Butchie saying that's not a good penalty. Yeah, I was about to say I don't know how the hell they're calling that a penalty, but I'm not complaining. The Islanders are taking a power play. Alexander saying nice on Tony Cheese. John P saying Namath underwent knee surgery in late January of 1965 in New York, with doctors removing a large piece of cartilage and repairing a damaged ligament. According to the 1970s book Broadway Joe and His Super Jets, Dr. James Nicholas noted that Namath had the knees of a 7-year-old man. Despite the chronically bad knee and the litany of other injuries, Namath went on to fame and fortune with the Jets. From an article of AI.com, when Joe Namath first injured his knee at Alabama 52 years ago.
Yeah, he originally hurt his knee at Alabama. He was quite a runner, and you wouldn't think it, but yeah, his knees were terrible. I think he's had both knees replaced. So good for him. Always liked Joe Namath. Broadway Joe.
The Islanders on the power play haven't had many opportunities so far either.
Oh, here they got a chance.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh, well, Wallstrom just should have known. If I'm not shooting the puck, there's not going to be a shot on net. Oh, Wallstrom, shoot! Oh, gets blocked there by the Seattle Kraken. We're taking a shot deep from the point. At least we're trying to put the puck on net right now.
Who's shooting the puck? Who are the guys who are actually creating out there?
Noah Dobson and Oliver Wallstrom are the two guys taking shot opportunities on the power play.
Shoot the puck.
Would you be shocked yet to know, Grumpy, we're still being outshot 3-1 this period? After being outshot essentially 11-5 the first period, we're still being outshot in the second period. It's not like we've had much of a change of heart or a concerted effort to throw the puck more on net. Again, this is against a Seattle Kraken expansion team, ladies and gentlemen. One of the bottom 5 teams in the NHL. Have not looked great so far. And they got Josh Bailey at the point.
Josh freaking Bailey, who won't shoot the puck, is on the power play.
Hell yeah, Bailey. Oh, he passes right out. What a shock. Let's see. Josh Bailey in the trigger spot. He passes right back out once more.
Josh
God,
Bailey.
you got to put the puck on net.
Bailey, piece of shit.
Yeah, and looks like the power play is in the dying seconds. The Seattle Kraken were able to kill the Islanders power play. Ooh, a good little opportunity. I think that's Dobson who throws it in front of the net, hoping for a redirection by Zach Parise. Oh, there's Adam Larson. My God, what a draft bust. Look at all the picks. I mean, look at that Seattle Kraken. You're right. They picked a lot of defensemen up.
Yeah, their defense score is pretty good. Left-handed defenseman, which is something that we need, but we couldn't manage to pull off a trade with all the left-handed defensemen they had. We thought Zdeno Chara was a better option.
Jeremy F. saying, what would be your all-time Islanders lineup? 4 lines, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies. First line, it would have to be first or second, i.e. you can't have Barzal on the third or the fourth line, for example. Okay.
I'd put him on the second line, though.
I'm about to say he's fantastic. He's marvelous. The things he would do, fantastic. I don't know. That's Jeremy. That's a question.
That's an off-season question.
I was about to say that's
requires some research. Question. My first line is Trottier, Gillies, and Bossy, though. That much I can tell you.
Yes. How could you mess that up? How could you mess with that, Jeremy? Keep that one. Put it in your pocket. Never let
Jeremy's got a lot of these questions. He just kind of springs at us, and then he bails, like, greatest athlete question.
I was about to say, I need that greatest athlete question tomorrow, Jeremy, on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man Show. You might be asking, what's the TJ Grumpy? Do you know what the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man Show is?
Yes, I do.
What is it, Grump? Tell the listeners.
It's our second podcast. It's where we talk sports and shoot the shit.
There it is, Grumpy. You can find it as a featured channel on our YouTube page, and you can also find it in the link in the description below called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man with an ampersand side, the Grumpy Old Man. There it is, Grumpy. Just for the people's viewing, just for the view of people, I'm more visual learners than auditory learners. JG says, TJ, you're not liking reading. It's not news. Oh, the fact that I don't like reading is not news. Oh, Mio Drag P's back. He says, hello, guys. Oh, man. Tony Cheese here saying, I know it might not seem like it, but I do love this podcast. That being said, given our place in the standings and our future schedule, it is my expert opinion that this game is a must-win. You cannot lose or the season's over, Tony Cheese. You forgot the last part. Good attempt.
Well, that's your thing is, or the season's over. You might as well just read it like that.
Anthony R. I can't wait till the season's mathematically over and it'll die. Anthony R. is saying here, hey guys, do you have an email address for your podcast? Let me pull up our email address here.
You have an
it's
email
called
address?
Islanders Fans United at gmail.com.
Wow,
That's
I didn't know that. I didn't know we have an email
Yeah.
address.
Yes, Grumpy. You handle, what are you talking about? You handle everything for us, Grumpy. You don't know?
I'm the talent.
Oh, that's what it is. And you'll
I
see.
let my trained monkey do all that type of work.
Oh, is that what it is? You'll
Yeah.
see right here. That is the email address, Islanders Fans United at gmail.com. That's our email if you're looking to email us. Get back to comments here. Jurel said, it's okay, TJ. I got sniped, Grump.
He said, I sniped Grump.
Gotcha. I sniped Grump. Tony Cheese saying, you try carrying 2 gallons of water around your shitty neighborhood and see if you don't drop a canteen. Grump. That's right, Grumpy.
I don't have to. When I walk the neighborhood, I don't have. You know what? I'm capable of making the 5-mile walk, without a water at all.
Yeah, I drink about 60 fluid ounces of water if I'm walking in probably like 2.5 or 3 miles. I'll drink like 60.
Does it take you about 6 hours?
No, I just like to drink. I'd stay hydrated. Oh, okay. Here's maybe a little bit of an opportunity. Islanders do a good job back checking, and they prevent any type of odd man rush for the Seattle Kraken. I mean, it's been a boring game. Sorry, guys, if we haven't been commenting too much on the game. You're not missing much. There hasn't been any. Oh! What a save by Varlamov. As soon as I say that,
it wasn't that much of a save. It
Oh,
wasn't much of a shot. It wasn't much of a shot.
give him credit where credit's due, Grump.
It wasn't that great of a save. It wasn't much of a shot. It was
Okay.
Josh Bailey like.
Oh, Seattle looks like they're getting a few chances right now, and they're all in the Islander zone.
I tell you, I'm not going to even ask the question.
What are you going to ask?
Whose roster would you rather have right now, the Seattle Kraken or the New York Islanders?
Islanders. Come on, Grumpy.
Just saying.
What the? How could you even opine that? Get the hell out of here. Oh
my God.
How could you even pose that question? I'm sorry. How could you even pose that question, Grump? Come on.
I like how their defensive. I like the defensive structure on their team. I don't like ours, and we're a bunch of veterans.
We've got a way better casting crew on our team. Ooh, Seattle looks like they're trying to pick it up here. About 9 minutes into the first period or second period, they're picking up their play a bit.
They have no offensive talent, though. I don't know how they've scored goals this year.
They look awful offensively. I mean, like maybe just so many teams are hideously bad on the defensive side of the puck that they get a few odd man breaks. The same way the Islanders used to score.
They remind me of the Islanders from a couple of years ago.
Yep. I would say, except with a lot less talent. Jared Ben says, boys, I heard Lou begged Seattle to take Everly over Bailey. I heard that they were more interested in Bailey. They wanted him and were interested in making him captain or assistant.
I find that hard to believe.
I heard that they wanted to put Josh Bailey into the Seattle Kraken Hall of Fame. They wanted to retire his number first. They were going to build around Josh Bailey. And what I also heard was when Josh Bailey moved there, he was going to be the poster boy of the franchise.
You want to know the dumbest thing that the Kraken has done so far?
What's that?
They retired the number 32, even though no one ever used it because they're the 32nd team in the NHL. Talk about stupid.
Ugh, that is
I guess Ross Johnson will never go there.
Oh my God! Look at the mistake the Islanders make. Jesus Christ!
Chara.
Oh man, Chara is so freaking slow. Oh, I don't. Grumpy, you want to know what's bad? We have 7 shots on net right now. We're being outshot 16-7 at home. 30 minutes into the game. So period and a half in, we have 6 shots on net against the expansion Seattle Kraken. I'm sorry, 7 shots on that against the expansion Seattle Kraken team. Yikes, guys.
It could be better. It could be better.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't think it could be worse. I mean, maybe
we could have no shots on goal.
We could have 1 shot, but I mean, how realistic is that?
They are really aggressive forechecking.
And they're aggressive, and then they honestly, when you say they remind you a lot of the Islanders, and what we mean by that is they fight for every single inch of ice. They do not go ahead and they don't give up on contested pucks. They fight their asses off for every inch on the ice.
That's why I asked the
like that a lot. We are not like that as much anymore.
No, we're not, because our guys are older.
Yep. I don't think it's like them not wanting to fight. It's just, you're right. It's as simple as we're older and they're not physically able to do that anymore. It's too demanding.
Yep. And that's why I said, whose roster would you rather have? That's why I asked the question, because it's very obvious to me they play a similar style that we do. Certainly the last couple of years, not this year, but years previous. Very, very similar.
SP said, I'd much rather have a top pick in next year's draft than in this year's draft. No, this year's draft is a really strong draft class. I'm telling you. This year's a strong draft class. Kanye the Giant saying here, Evander Kane over Anders Lee over Patrick Kane. That's right. Patrick Kane at the bottom of that list. That's right. I'm pretty sure I'd take Matt Molson at this stage of his career, probably over Patrick Kane, Grumpy.
That was a big save by Grubauer right there.
Yeah, Grubauer coming up big when he's needed to. Mia Drag P said, let's go Islanders. Grandpa's totally crazy with a little smiley face. Crazy positive, of course. Zombie Wolf says, hello, gentlemen. I discovered your podcast, and the two of you are very knowledgeable and entertaining. I am a grumpy Islander fan since 1976.
There you go. See, that's part of my skill set right there.
Well, thanks.
Somebody who remembers the good times, the beginning of the good times, the growth of the good times, the woeful down times.
Roll. Grumpy, that's a song, right? Let the good times roll.
How does it go? I'm sorry. How does it go?
Let the good times roll, right?
How does it go?
I don't know, Grumpy. I'm
Get it. That's not it. It's the Cars.
Oh, Jesus. SP said, did you guys see Trotz dumping on Wallstrom again? What the hell? No, somebody please send us that, because we're going to talk about the first time he shit all over Wallstrom's day, and we're not going to be too thrilled about the next time.
Here's the thing. He can't pick on Barzell anymore. Can't do it anymore, because Barzell's actually done some things that he deservedly should be ripped for, but he can't rip on him anymore.
Because he's too big.
Yep. So now he's going to punish Barzell. Next best thing.
No, you mean he's going to punish Wallstrom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
Kanye the Giant says Lou is probably calling up more ex-Devils to sign on. Mario saying,
Niedermeyer, all those guys.
Mario saying, when was the last time the Islanders had a legit sellout for a regular season game not involving the Rangers?
3 games ago.
When was the last time? Well, let me ask you, when's the last? Maybe you meant to say, when's the last time the attendance was full?
That I can't tell you.
Mia Drag P says
against Tampa Bay last year, probably opening night was probably a sellout.
Mia Drag P says, my friend was watching. She likes you. Want to get married? She says you look like Damon's meth. I don't know what that is, but I assume it's not a flattering image. Alexander laughing over here. Check those Twitter DMs, TJ. Oh, I will. I don't know who Miss Mio Drag guy is, but he is by far my favorite commenter. Hold on a second. Is that Tony freaking Cheese? Is Tony Cheese Mio Drag? Oh, Tony Cheese. Rich A saying Barzal getting benched in the third period by Trotz for that turnover. He's just too big to get benched anymore.
Oh, what a turnover by the Kraken.
Oh, man. What's good? Maybe we're getting a few offensive chances here. We need it. That's for certain.
Man, I tell you what. I don't know what is so funny.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue, Grumpy.
You look at the Kraken, just remind me of us from a couple of years ago.
Hold on. I'll remove this so it's easier to see. TJ reads a comment correctly. Oh my God. I'm about to steal that. Tony Cheese posted on social media after the game. Oh, that's fantastic. I appreciate that, Tony Cheese. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Oh man, 7 minutes remaining. The Islanders have looked better over the last 3 minutes or so, but we have not looked good today. As simple as that. This is a team really
against the Kraken.
Against the, what do they have, 24 regular season losses?
Barry has a very good record against expansion teams. He won the Stanley Cup against one.
Oh, talking about the Vegas Golden Knights that one time when when the Washington Capitals beat them. And then, oh, good gracious. Double says here, hey, Grumpster, do you remember Tonelli in the corners, elbows pumping like pistons?
Yeah, he was great in the corners. He wasn't just a mucker and a grinder, though. He had talent, too.
Oh, man. Grumpy. I love that one.
Big save by Grubauer on Parise. What do you
Well,
expect?
hey, man, the Islanders are starting to dial it up a little more. I mean, after being dominated for the first 30 minutes of action, it looks like I would say after being, I don't know,
I wouldn't use the word dominated, but
after sleepwalking through the first 30
Yeah.
minutes of action, the Islanders seem to be getting a few more chances.
I mean, Hayden Fleury's back there. They have a lot of good defensemen on that team.
Still being outshot more than 2-1. Now we've got about 8 minutes left in the period, but at least it looks like we're showing a few signs of life. I understood the power play. That's from a while ago. Want you to decide says another lame penalty call, but that one is for us. Michael T saying the refs are trying to get some goals scored in this game with these penalty calls. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know that both of our power plays suck. Oh, good.
They didn't look at the stats, I guess.
See, like from that angle, there's a lot of people in the seats, Grumpy. Just depends, I guess, on where you are in the arena.
I didn't say there weren't people in the stands today. You did.
I just said it looks like there's less and less people. When I look at it from the side angles, there's on towards the bottom area of the bowl, there's a lot less. There's a lot more empty seats game after game. But I mean, again, we don't get the whole picture and the whole view. I'm not saying they're not like, they're only selling about a third of the arena out. I'm just saying it's not a sellout every night. I don't think. John M saying, "Good evening, gentlemen." And yeah, Jigs is a little more critical of the Islanders players play than Brandon is.
That's why they only let him do one game every 10 years.
Well,
they don't want people to start waking up to what's really going on. They might get rid of him before the start of the third period.
Joel said,
"I got AJ when you leave. Where's AJ when you need her?"
Joel, I'll look at that after the game. Oh, a nice intercept.
Well, here's the thing. That was the Kraken guys. You got to just clear it out instead of trying to stick it.
Holy hell. I mean, I don't know who that was. He put a little bit of a move on, too, for the Seattle Kraken, showing a little bit of speed.
Oh, that was another bad pass by Barzal.
Yeah, Barzal's not look good today.
A couple of big turnovers, bad penalty. You think his name was Josh Bailey out there. He probably said, "Hey, I'm going to get myself a lifetime contract playing like that."
John M. saying, "Effing Bailey on the wall on the power play." Yeah, I know. Jeremy F saying, "And then he bails." Was that a shot at me or Josh Bailey? Holy shit. I like it, Jeremy. I like it. No, he's just, I don't know. Grumpy's grumpy. Aaron G saying here, we should give Char a long-term contract. He's a gem for certain. I think that Zdeno Chara should be looking at an 8-year extension.
Yeah, I don't know what the gem is, though.
Yeah, I was about to say a shitty gem. One of those gems that you blow on it, and it's like, and it just crumbles to a million pieces. One of those gems that didn't age so well.
What's fool's gold? Oh, man. Nice shrug off by Palmieri. Is that Appleby? Maybe you should go back to work at the restaurant.
I don't know. Number 22 for the Seattle Kraken. I can't tell you I'm too familiar yet. Yeah, Appleton, Grumpy. Appleby is the guy we traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I don't know. I like his name better as Applebee's. It works better with my joke.
Oh my God, look at us. I mean, the ice surface is so shitty at UBS Arena. I mean, I don't know who that was. That Noah Dobson who slipped and fell in his own zone?
I don't
slide all over the place. Ugh. Nick D saying, "What a boring game." I'm debating whether to watch AEW's MJF. What is that versus CM Punk in Seattle or in Chicago, or Canada versus El Salvador in the World Cup qualifiers?
I think you should listen to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man is what you should do.
That's it. That's right, Grumpy. That's right, Nick D.
If it's second, I'd probably watch the wrestling. You're guaranteed to have some action there. Nice save by Varlamov.
Nice save by Varlamov is right. There's an opportunity for the Seattle Kraken. 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the second period. Oh, God. I mean, it looks like the Islanders, and again, it's Chara who's hemmed in his own zone. It's Chara who's unable to get off the ice. My God.
Don't worry, Dobson got to clear the puck.
Thank goodness. John M. saying, maybe we can pay Trotz to tank like Ross paid the Finns coach to tank. Yeah,
I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow.
I know. On TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show, we're going to have a great time talking about that Brian Flores situation. Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
People are complaining about Tom Brady's farewell Instagram.
Yes, people are bitching and moaning. Yeah, what's his face? Dave Portnoy was. I don't know. There's a little bit of an opportunity. Dave Portnoy was very upset that he thanked Tampa a lot and did say one thing about New England.
Well, there's a reason. But here's the thing. That lasted for about a day. And
Oh,
then Brian Flores, dropped that lawsuit. And we'll
that's
be
all
talking
we
about
can
both
talk
of
about.
those things tomorrow.
Yep. Dimitri P said the email password is I hate Josh Bailey. No,
Oh, wow.
there's actually the J and the B are capitalized. Otherwise than that, it's 100% on. Arcane 12 Archon says, which team won the match? It's still going on. I assume he's bet on the game. Drew L says over under. TJ goes to the bathroom within the next 45 minutes. I could promise you I'm going to the bathroom in the next 45 minutes.
It's going to be the under.
I was about to say, Grumpy. Actually, I'm going to go to the bathroom once I find a good comment for you.
Why don't you wait until intermission?
Because I got to read the ad then.
It's 2 minutes to go.
Rich A says the Kraken isn't saddled with bad long-term contracts for old players.
Very true.
John M saying here, TJ looks better in swag T-shirts than the wife beater T-shirts that he used to wear.
Yeah.
The merchandise, Barry and the Vets.
Why don't
And
you stand up and show everybody so it says, so they can all see the whole thing. There you go. Barry and the Vets. See, much better.
Barry and the Vets. Sal P saying halfway through the game, and we have 7 shots. This team stinks. I no longer believe in Barry.
Most people don't.
Kanye, the Giant, says the Islanders are so slow. There's no threat in them scoring in transition. Every time I think there's an odd man rush, it turns into a dump and chase.
It's, you can't even get upset at it anymore. It kind of just is what it is.
Yep. Well, you expect it. We all expect it.
Like the 5 stages of grief. I'm at the acceptance stage right now. I accept.
Hadar Sani A says here, where can I see the game? You can see it on ESPN Plus, or you can listen to us talk about it and talk about the miserable Islanders. Oh man. And the Seattle Kraken. John M saying this game is almost unwatchable. Yeah, unfortunately. Is that the next game the Islanders play the Oilers? Oh, dude, I'll be honest. I don't know how many of those West Coast games we're going to do.
I think our first game back is on February 9th, I think, against Vancouver, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I could tell you one thing with these late night games. I don't know how many of those late night games are doing. If they're starting at like 9 or 10,
they start at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
That's 8. Oh, that's actually, yeah. Okay. That's about 8 o'clock my time. That's not the worst in the world. Ooh, Martin, don't take a penalty.
I don't know. It looks like he was doing some type of rumba with the defenseman there.
He was definitely being a little handsy. JG says, hard to believe we had 43 shots on goal against the Wild.
True.
Yeah. Ooh. Rich A says, you need to check DraftKings for those odds regarding if I need to go to the bathroom. 516 fella.
That's even money.
Good evening, gents. I rarely tune in to the podcast live or the watch alongs, but I'm a faithful podcast listener. Love these watch alongs. Thank you, 516 fella. I appreciate
thank you very much for the support. We definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. And then John M says, Jigs has line of the night. You can always tell a Harvard guy. You just can't tell him too much. You just can't tell him much. Oh, gosh.
Because they're smart. You understand? They're smart.
Mio Drag P says, look at Grumpy's face as if he saw a ghost. I'm pretty sure this has to be Tony Cheese. Tony Cheese saying here, I'm not Mio Drag. It was too much work and too confusing between two people in the comments. I don't get paid enough.
I'd say the same thing working with TJ. I don't get paid enough.
Oh, goodness.
I get paid nothing, so that's not enough.
Less than a minute left in the period. Yikes. The Islanders have not looked great today. The Seattle Kraken have not looked great today. Very, very boring game. This may be a 0-0 game, and the determining factor is either going to come in overtime or shootout. It's a wet dream for Barry Trotz if we win 1-0 in shootout. It's a wet dream for him.
Well, and he's going to praise Varlamov like, he was great today.
Varlamov is fantastic. Look at a great job and commitment to defensive structure our team showed today. I know we only generated 5 shots on net each period, so we only generated 15 total shots, but look at that defensive effort.
Did you see where Bailey was there? Well, I'll tell you at the end of the period.
He was in front of the net, wasn't he?
He was in front of the net. You know how I knew? He had like one of those signs like when you go to a mall, you are here, because he had no idea where the hell he was. He's not hanging around the rolling boards. You don't know where the hell he is.
Michael T saying, who is the better team, the Senators or the Kraken?
Looks like the Kraken to me. The Senators are terrible. They have more offensive ability, but they're terrible defensively. Terrible. Seattle's a good defensive team. Let's give where credit's due. They look like a better version of us. That's all I'm saying.
Amiho Drag says, I'd cook for you. I'd wash your pants every day. Well, Grumpy don't think wears pants, and neither do I.
Maybe he's talking about you, not me.
He's talking about you, Grumpy, in your dashing looks. Drew L says, it's bad when Grubauer hasn't even broken a sweat yet in net.
Very true. He's made a couple of good saves. But, I mean, neither team is a threat to score. Ugh.
JG says, it's not a gym. It's a piece of dog shit. And yes, I'm in your place, but live a little far away in Los Angeles. Yeah, too far away. Sorry. And then we got here Tony Cheese saying, it does bring me much joy that you guys have to be a little skeptical about new commenters. Tony Cheese, you got to watch out. Tony Cheese is always up to nefarious tricks. John P saying the United States is up 2-0 on Honduras at halftime.
Honduras. I mean, we should automatically qualify for the World Cup with the shitty teams we play.
You would figure. Would figure. Drew L says maybe the Finns are secretly trying to move on from Tua.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Cheese and crackers were begging to lose this game.
Doesn't it seem like that?
Brian B says, hello, folks. Just home. Nice score. 0s.
And that's exactly how we played, like a 0.
Oh, man. Tony She's saying Tisha gets excited a little goofy when he has to go. He does. You never notice that? He's like, oh, he gets a little hoo-hoo. Like a little. I've got that. Like, Joel says, if you think this is unwatchable, the next game is 100 times worse.
I tell you, it's hard for me to watch regular season basketball. Just really tough.
NHL 22 Goalhorn says, hi from the game. What's up, NHL Goalhorns? Hopefully you've at least gotten you've gotten a Shack burger or a Shack sandwich, a Shack chicken sandwich. Is
that the only food that they serve there? They serve a lot of stuff,
Man, I tell you, if I told you this before, I would rack up maybe $100 bill. Even if I ate before the game, I still would rack up $100 bill at UBS.
You're disgusting.
I know. Where
do they sell the hot dogs without buns? That's the second.
Dude, I didn't tell you what I've been on lately, Grumpy. Last night, after I got off the podcast late, do you want to know what I ate for dinner? I didn't have 6 hot dogs. I only had 4 hot dogs, and then I had to open a new container. But you want to know what I ate? This will make you happy, Grumpy.
Let me see. What is it?
I made 2 bags of ramen. Just broke up some ramen. I had 4 hot dogs and some pepperoni. I throw it in there, and I put some barbecue sauce on it. Whoo, baby. Baby.
What is wrong with you? You got problems, man.
Oh, man. Come on, Grumpy. If you tried it, you would love it.
I'm just going to the bathroom so I can pick apart what you just ate.
I'm going to go ahead and pop up here the results that we've had so far in the 2 periods of play, and I'll let you speak about it, and I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like we did pick up a few shots towards the end. We have 11 shots now, 20-11. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. You see how he pops this thing up on the screen? All I see is shots on goal and shooting percentage, nothing else. So I can't tell you anything else. It's break time, and the score is 0-0. What does that mean? Both teams suck offensively because the goaltending hasn't been spectacular, but both teams are playing a pretty buttoned-up defensive game. The Kraken more than the Islanders, in my opinion, and it's been a good road game for them. Must win for the Islanders. Of course, the Kraken, well, they've been playing out the string since they had the expansion draft last spring. So, not really concerned for me about them. But if you're a Kraken fan, you have to be happy with what you've seen from them so far. They did a nice interview with John Forsland, who's the play-by-play guy for the Kraken, used to be with the Carolina Hurricanes. And I really like him, honestly. I think he's a good play-by-play guy. It was nice to see him back in my area anyway. And, I like his thing. He's more connected than Shannon or anybody like that. And I just like the job that he does. I hated their color guy in Carolina, but he's done a nice job in Seattle. Maybe he's from that area. I don't know. But as far as the Islanders today, if you ask me who stood out, I really couldn't tell you. I think Wallstrom's looked okay. Dobson's looked okay.
Was that
But
Crump?
really, we've been nondescript for the most part. TJ, can you think of anyone who's played really well for the Islanders today?
Shit. No. Unfortunately not. It's not like we've had individual brilliance from anybody out there on the ice. Matt Barzal hasn't looked great. I would argue he's actually looked pretty poor. He's had a bad game. I saw a little bit of a hustle. Maybe Jean-Gabriel Pageau, he's probably played the best so far this game. And again, I don't think he's necessarily stood out. He's done a lot of the small things well today, though.
I said Wallstrom and Dobson.
I was hitting you with a response, and you were waiting to drink. I'm like, go ahead and drink your drink, brother, because I want your response afterwards. But Grumpy, do you know what time it is?
Time for you to butcher another ad from DraftKings.
Oh, baby. The moment we've all been waiting for since September is finally here. In honor of the big game, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in New York, meaning you can bet in almost a third of the country. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, play DraftKings daily fantasy football contest for Super Bowl 56. New customers can get a free shot at $1 million top prize with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code THPN and get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56. You must be 21 years or older. Minimum age in location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for a full list of requirements in state-specific responsible gambling resources. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text TN Redline, which is 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, which is 467-369. What's up, Grump?
Remember when you tried to say 1-800-HOPENY? Do you remember that?
Hopenny, not Hopenny. Hopenny.
Hopenny.
I still stick with it. I wanted to say Hopenny again.
I'm glad you didn't.
Tony Cheese saying, I can't wait to lose in the 15th frame of shootout. Well, we would win if we didn't put Wallstrom in the, taking a shot at 10 or number 9.
That's usually when he shoots is about the 15th round, isn't it?
Yeah. Kanye the Giant says, yep, the 15th frame was we'll see Oliver Wallstrom his turn to shoot. Alexander said, no, Drew. They're not moving on from Tua Tagovailoa. Lou R says here, holy crap, the cameraman should scan the stands and see if anybody's sleeping.
Yeah. Very true. Now that I'd love to see that. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You mentioned the big game and everyone's going to be at the big game. Do you think Brian Flores is getting comp tickets from the NFL?
Probably not. I'm going to say he's probably in bad. I'm sure the NFL is not very thrilled with Brian Flores.
And honestly, I wanted him to coach the Giants.
I did
we
too.
talked about that. We talked about that, 3 weeks ago?
I think he was a good candidate for the Giants. I thought he was a stern hand, which the Giants needed. And I thought he's a very good coach. But
I understand the reason why he didn't get it. They want somebody who could develop that clown they have at quarterback.
Instead of just saying, screw it, we're going with a different route at quarterback, they said, nope, we're going to stick on to Daniel Jones, white on rice. So now we're going to have to hire a coach who turned Josh Allen from a bad quarterback into a legit quarterback. I'm like, how much of that really goes on the coach and how much of that's just player development?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a bit of both.
But when you're working with a shitty item like Daniel Jones, what's the max you can hope for him to be? Is an average quarterback?
Yeah. My thing with Brian Flores, unfortunately, he's a defensive coach. Most guys who get hired now are offensive coaches, and it's like whoever the new hot coordinator is. Those are the guys who get those jobs, and you have to be under 35 years of age. That's just the way the NFL is going right now.
But we got some comments to get through, Grumpy, before we're going to talk about that tomorrow on TJ and the Grumpy Man Show. 516 fellow said, I haven't been to UBS yet, but I heard the beers are $18. Yikes. Well, that's your problem. Don't be drinking beers at the game.
You might as well get loaded out in the car before coming in.
There you go, Grumpy. Now you're onto the right thought.
My dad used to do that when he had tickets to Jet games. Games would start 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we lived out on Long Island, out in Suffolk County, out in Oakdale. And, they had the games at Shea Stadium. He'd leave at like 9 o'clock in the morning for a 1 o'clock game. And, getting a little bit of, liquid lunch in there, liquid dinner.
Liquid lunch and liquid dinner.
And then he wouldn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. When the game ended at 4. I got a whole story on that. I remember he took me to a game once. I saw the Jets playing the New England Patriots or the Boston Patriots at the time. Joe Kapp was the quarterback. Al Woodall was the quarterback of the Jets. And we got there early. Like I said, they had 4 season tickets, him and his drinking buddies, and one of them couldn't go. So I got to go to one game, and he just kind of abandoned me in the seats early. I had a 6-pack of Yoo-Hoo because you're allowed to bring stuff into the stadium, and that's what I had. And I sat there the whole game. He was gone. I don't know where he went, but with just me, watching the back of Patriots' butts and Joe Kapp after he took a beating in that game. Then he came by and says, okay, time to go, after the game was over, and we drove home.
I don't know what's more shocking, the fact that you were allowed to bring Yoo-Hoo and you could bring your own food and beverages into games. So, I mean, you could just bring alcohol into games back then. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he said when the Jets won
that, and they said, well, we're missing out a lot of profit.
When the Jets beat the Raiders for the AFL championship in 1968, they had champagne in the stands, and they opened up the champagne bottle, drinking that. Oh yeah. I thought you were going to say you were surprised that he left a kid who wasn't even 10 years old.
I didn't know how old you were. You said kids, so I was reserving judgment. I don't know. I was reserving judgment, Grump. 10 years old. I guess times were different back then.
Times were different back then. Like I said, we were out 8 o'clock in the morning. Get out of the house. Come back at lunch. As soon as we're done eating lunch, make sure you're back by 6 for dinner, and that was it. That's the way it was. We'd be all over everywhere.
MH says 2-0 win is what he thinks the Islanders are going to win by. 2-0. Mio Drag says, oh, hello to your friend, Mio Drag. Tony Shee saying, if you give us her name, we'll say hello. Tony Shee saying, I can imagine TJ going up to the cashier at Shack Burger with his wife, asking if they can cut up hot dog and mix it into macaroni and cheese, and her rethinking her decision to marry a small bladdered man. Oh,
I agree.
Yeah. Kanye the Giant says, I mentioned Scotty Bowman a couple streams ago. I looked it up. He has 9 Stanley Cups coaching and 5 more working in the front office, totaling to 14. He's probably lost track of some of his rings.
Think about it. Montreal, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and he also coached in Buffalo. He was a great coach. Probably the greatest of all time.
Michael T says, TJ, that sounds like a crackhead living in a dumpster dive. Holy Christ, man. I just was hungry. It tasted good. God almighty. Drew L said, sorry, my mom's been busy cracking her back after I stepped on some cracks.
Like the history of the Kraken. Hockey has always been part of our history.
Mio Drag says, let's go Islanders. And Brian Flores certainly wanted to. And then Frank Hayes. What's that?
Brian Flores, I don't know. He was going to get another job. I mean, it was so obvious he was going to get another job.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, who is going to, after you see, even like with Miami, right? They were offering Brian Flores and say, we'll pay you $100,000 for every loss you have. And he said, that's not my DNA. I'm like, even if you think like, hey, Brian Flores is the best coach out there, we can't wait to hire him. Yeah, you look at what happens, even like what dirty laundry he's aired out in Miami, and you think to yourself, yeah, do we want something if our relationship goes sour? Now all of a sudden we have to worry about every single private conversation being aired out and our dirty laundry being aired out. All these professional teams, especially the NFL, like keeping everything quiet and in the dark because they're all doing. As soon as he said, oh, they offered to pay me for every loss, the Miami Dolphins were not the first team to do that, and they won't be the last team offering to pay a head coach for every loss they have as a little bonus and incentive.
Who was the guy? Was it Hugh Jackson? Who was the guy who was coaching Cleveland and losing all the time?
Yep, Hugh.
Yeah. He came out and said that he was paid off to lose games for the Browns.
Does that shock you? Teams do it all the time. They want the quarterback and they say tank.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that people, like I said, I also mentioned last week, I just find it awful coincidental that ever since the NFL has been in bed with DraftKings, making billions of dollars with their sponsorship deal, that all of a sudden these games are super, super close right down to the end. I don't know. It's awful tough to, very coincidental. Don't you think? I don't know.
Maybe. The Frank K said this game is painful to watch. Both teams look shot.
Yeah. These guys are playing like they're a junkie needing a shot.
Michael T said, hey, Grump, Halle Berry or Megan Good?
Who the hell's Megan Good? Do you know Megan Good?
I don't know.
I know who Halle Berry is. I'm going to go with her because I know who she is. I don't know who the other one is. Maybe the other one's a skank. I don't know.
No, it's bad when I've got it pulled up.
Pull up the picture. I know what Halle
I
Berry
don't even know
like.
any of these. I don't watch movies, so I'm not sure.
I've never even heard of Megan Good. Maybe, I don't know. Put a picture up.
I'm probably going Halle Berry, but
I know what Halle Berry looks like. I don't know the other one.
This is Megan Good.
She's pretty too. I'm going to go with Halle Berry, though.
I'm about to say, how could anybody say no to Halle Berry? Beautiful.
I didn't.
I'm just saying. That's what I was saying. Wow. Only 11. Okay. What's worse? The fact that we're getting outshot 20-11 or the fact that we're the home team and have the last change and we're getting beat in the face-off dot. They're beating us 57% to our 43% in the face-off dot. We're at home and have the last change. We should not be getting dominated in the face-off dot either. Holy shit. We're out hitting them. Barry, I don't know what Barry's doing. Barry, he must be yanking out whatever type of eyebrows he's got left because there's no hair to pull out.
I do want to watch his press conference. It's only 10 minutes anyway. I do want to watch his press conference before we start the post game.
His post game press conference, yes.
Yeah.
Alexander says, great job on the ad, TJ. Thank you. Jimmy S. saying, evening, boys. Good to see you guys. Good to see you too, Jimmy. Alexander saying, they're showing the top 10 goals by the Islanders this season. Well,
did they even have 10?
Kanye the Giant says, if the Oilers can bring on Evander Kane, it doesn't seem I don't see any reason why we can't get Quenneville here. I mean, he's banned for a period of time. There's no way that teams don't want him.
He's not banned at all. He's not been banned.
He just I'm about to say, right? There was a lot of red flags by Evander Kane with the fake vaccine card and the apparently alleged, was it abuse and betting,
gambling every other thing
on teams. Yeah, he was good to play. He's good to come back. So maybe again, if you're talented enough, like with Quenneville, if you're talented enough, doesn't matter if you have a checkered past or not. Michael T said, Suffolk County represent.
There you go.
Frank C saying Joe Cap. I remember him in Woodall was Namath his backup. The Giants traded Fran Tarkenton to the Vikings, and the Pats signed or squired a really bad Joe Cap.
Yeah, Joe Cap he led the Vikings to Super Bowl 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. He originally played in the Canadian Football League. He was not a great quarterback, but he was blood and guts. I think when he threw the ball, his ball kind of went end over end. But he was not great. I think they even have like in the NFL, they do like highlights of the teams, for every champ, like America's game. This was like the greatest teams that didn't win a Super Bowl. And they were talking about that Minnesota Vikings team. Lost rings, I think is what they called it.
Was that back during the Purple People Eater days?
That's exactly when he was part of the Purple People Eaters, but they couldn't match his contract, and he went to the Patriots, and the Patriots were really freaking bad, kind of like they are now, but that's how they were back then as well. And he took a beating. I remember because I sat right behind on the 50-yard line, right behind the Patriots bench at Shea Stadium. And he was sitting there and it was like, he was just beat up. I mean, he looked like they hit him with sledgehammers.
Jesus. Third period is underway here. The Islanders against the Seattle Kraken. John M saying, guys, I hate the All-Star game. The first All-Star game was a fundraiser with so many makeup games. Crazy to have one this year. I get it. It's all about the money.
Of course, it's always about the money.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they tell you it's not about the money, you know it's about the money.
Drew L said, Flores is probably going to the Saints most likely.
Not anymore, he's not.
Well, yeah, I was about to say he probably was penned to go to the Saints, but yeah, whatever. The Bill Belichick text was the final straw. See, I don't get that, Alexander. I read the text. You know what it sounded like? He texted the wrong person, but it's like, one of those hires that when you work for a company and they say, okay, we're looking for a new widget, or like what do they call them, a widget creator, or like let's just say we're looking for a new associate, and based off of like certain metrics they have to interview so many people that work in the company, that work outside the company. They may already like Joe Montanaz and John Smith. Oh, nice opportunity by Jean-Gabriel Pageau. They may already like John Smith, and they're like, well, we're going to give John Smith the job. So them interviewing all these outside hires and these internal people are just a formality, when reality, they've always liked John Smith, and they're going to hire John Smith.
That's the way businst works. I hate to tell you, that's the way it works.
That's the way all companies work. Hey,
but here's the thing.
If you bust, yeah, go ahead.
Let's say that, first of all, they didn't offer Daboll the job yet, even though they decided on him. Let's say Daboll decided he'd want to go there.
Yep.
And Flores is a second candidate. I mean, here's the thing. Flores is not wrong about certain things, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But I just think that he's going to have a hard time proving that it's racism, though.
Yep. Yeah. And John M saying, what you see from the Islanders tonight is what you're going to see in the second half of the season. Will all the makeup games being played in a short time period, with all the makeup games being played in a short time period?
We're going to look worse because we're going to be playing better teams. We're playing one of the worst teams in the league today. This is one of the worst teams in the league.
And we look yikes bad. We look disjointed. We look like we are,
we talk Ottawa or Philadelphia.
They at least try on the offensive side of the puck. We have Grumpy. Look how many shots we had through the first two periods of play. We had freaking 11 shots. The first two periods of play, we had 11, or now we have 12 shots right now. We have 12 shots, and we're in the third freaking period. That's awful. This is an expansion team. We have 12 shots and over freaking 40 minutes of action on the ice. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Sorry, unacceptable. We're averaging what? We're going to be having 18 shots by the end of the game if it ends in regulation against the Seattle Kraken. Holy shit. That's expansion. This is an expansion team. You would expect the Seattle Kraken to have freaking 18 shots at the end of the game, not the Islanders back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Oh.
Maybe they can subtract 2 of their shots from the last period to get them to 18 a game, because right now they have 20.
Oh, yeah, maybe the Seattle Kraken's going to have to subtract a few. Alexander saying, as a Dolphins season ticket holder for 2019, since 2019, I'm beyond pissed. Well, I mean, come on. When a team's in mediocrity and they're kind of in no man's land, they said we need to have a good quarterback. The only way to get a good quarterback is via the draft.
They drafted the wrong quarterback. They could have had Justin Herbert. They drafted the wrong one. That's their problem. Their scouting staff misidentifies the best player.
And Greer picked the wrong. I mean, like the scouting staff in the end. Greer, come on.
Yeah, he's the final. He's the final vote.
Yep, and he determined that. It's like when
nice job by us picking off the picks. Nice job by us picking off the on-rushing Kraken player, number 67, entering the zone. Nice defensive play by us.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes, good job on the defensive side of the puck. We haven't looked much of an offensive threat at all today. And again, I get it that Seattle's playing a much tighter game. Holy shit. I thought that one about squeaked in on a lucky deflection, but nope, unfortunately not lucky enough of a bounce for the Islanders here.
It is scary how much the Kraken reminds me of the Islanders of 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
just stylistically, the way they play, just the level of aggression, the hustle.
Nick D said, I was just looking at the schedule. Are you guys going live during those late night games? Vancouver is 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Edmonton, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Flames, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're probably not going live during a 10:30 Eastern Standard Time game. Just going out on a limb on that one. We'll have to talk about it with Grumpy. We'll have more of an answer for the Saturday podcast. But, if it's starting even 9 o'clock my time, I can't. Yeah, we're probably going to not do those ones if it's starting 9 o'clock Eastern or 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're probably not doing those games. Ooh, a nice job there by Varlamov fighting off that attempt. I mean, even though Seattle, right, they haven't looked like they've had a lot of prime opportunities to score today.
Just like us. That's how we used to look.
And that's what's made the game so boring.
True.
And then Lou R says, play some Twisted Sisters at the arena.
We're not
gonna take it. Oh, man.
We ain't gonna take it.
Absolutely. Mio Drag P says, your shirt is the top. You can show all the way to see it. I have no idea what that means. Are you talking about the Barbarian the Vet shirt? Here's the Barbarian the Vet shirt. Nicholas A says, gambling and abuse were unfounded. Lies from a bitter ex. I don't know what that is.
He's talking about Evander Kane.
Oh, God.
Oh, Varley.
Right. There it is. Alexander says she was in the movie The Intruder when with Dennis Quaid. She played his wife.
The Intruder. Okay.
Michael T says Barry had DraftKings prop bet that the game would be scoreless tie at the end of regulation. He was yelling at them in the locker room, no, to score, but not to score, but let them score, not to let them score either. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, my gosh. Oh,
they back check. They really do.
Christ almighty. You know what I just got? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Come on. Oh, I got an update. That must have been holy shit.
Oh my God.
The funny thing was I got an update on Twitter and the New York Islanders said Vancouver 1-0. I'm like, why the hell are they tweeting about a Vancouver game? We're not playing Vancouver. No, they're
Jared McCann, who was one of the guys I talked about before the game.
Jared McCann. Holy shit. My God.
Now this is one that Varley's going to want back. Jordan Eberle with the – how the hell did that even score?
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Oh.
What the hell is Varlamov looking at? He didn't know where the puck was. And it hits right off his shoulder. God almighty. Varley. And this is why when Phil's fax says you'd rather have Sorokin in that.
Now, was that a fluke? Is that a bad goal by Varley? I want to know, Phil.
Yes.
Did Phil say that?
Yeah.
No, he's probably like a freaking church mouse right now.
Oh, man. Thanks,
Phil's fiction for you.
Oh, man. Jesus. Fucking Varley. My God. I couldn't locate the puck and gives up that goal.
Now we're in trouble.
Yes, now we're in trouble is right. The first team to score this game, especially this late, is winning. I mean, shit. Right now, guys, we have 13 shots on net, and we're about 50 minutes into the game. Oh, now Martin's trying to mix it up. Yeah, okay, Martin. Where the hell was this fight the first 50 minutes of the game?
Where was that fight against Tampa Bay in the last two Eastern Conference Finals?
Yanni Gord's like, yeah. Go after you freaking jobber. I've got two rings. He's talking shit to him. He's like, yeah, right. You're getting your ass kicked by us. You've got 13 shots on net through 50 minutes of action. Hell out of here. Alexander saying, honestly, the NFL does have an issue with diversity. They need more black head coaches. They need the most qualified candidate.
Yes. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say.
Like, when you look,
I want to talk to you about that tomorrow. I really do.
Nick D says Joe Cap was president and general manager of the BC Lions, a CFL team. Yeah, I'm familiar with the BC Lions. Yep.
Yeah. That's where he came from, playing Canadian football to the NFL. And then he went back Canada. I mean, he was also in The Longest Yard, by the way.
Yep. And then you've got Alexander saying here, oh, Jesus Christ. Alexander saying, we should be dominating this game.
It's true,
Yeah,
but
we
we're
should.
not. We're being dominated.
TG says, TJ, you mentioned that we look disjointed. Right now, disjointed is a compliment.
Oh,
yes, it is.
There's going to be a lot of.
Says, you guys suck with a little middle finger.
Oh, geez.
Right back at you, SS. Drew L said, I think the nosebleeds were like $8 tonight. Yeah. Tony Cheese, Evander Kane's a classic case of don't. Oh, Jesus, I've never heard that one. Don't stick your, you know what? Don't stick your willy in the silly.
Willy in the silly.
Oh God, there's no way to say that.
Podcast.
Right? Yes, it is.
I'm going to tell you something. We're going to see here. We're going to see quite a bit of gallows humor in the last few months.
Yep. Hey, man, that's
Mr. Fun. Softy strikes again.
Mr. Softy strikes again. Varlamov strikes again.
Look at Eberle. Oh,
Jesus Christ. That looks even worse. He wasn't like, what the? Jesus Christ, man. He couldn't locate the puck. Oh, he just loses sight of the puck and gives up a goal.
He has to know where the puck is most all the time, doesn't he?
You would figure that much.
I think it helps.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, hold on. He says that it's not a great goal against, but without Varlamov, this game would be 3-0.
Oh, Phil.
They did give him no run support. He said they gave him no run support, but the game would be 3-0. I agree with the second, not the first.
But a goal that goes in off of Varlamov's shoulder, sits on top of his shoulder, which he can't possibly know what it is. He's trying to cover it, rolls off his back. That's a weak goal. Okay. Don't make excuses. Phil sounds like he's trying to play both sides against the other right now.
And here's it, and they're talking about, oh well, Varlamov doesn't get any run support. Yeah, it's because
he's still got to stop. He's still got his job is to stop goals, not score goals. Can't let in softies like that.
Oh God!
And again, Dobson lost an edge.
Oh man, that was weak. Oh God Almighty!
That's a Varley special. He's good for 1 or 2 of those every game. Look how look at that, a little physical contact from the goal. A little bit more jump from the Islanders' third line. This
it only took us going down 1-0 to Seattle Kraken. Why was our team not motivated to play for the first 15 minutes? And it took the freaking Seattle Kraken going up 1-0 at home for us to wake the hell up. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous, and that goes on coaching. And guess what? If your players aren't damn motivated enough, it goes on. If the players aren't motivated enough, the coach needs to make changes to put players who are willing to give a damn out there. We look freaking uninspired today. Uninspired.
In their defense, it was 45 minutes, not 50.
Oh, I'm sorry. It only took us 45 minutes to finally
nice stick handle by Dobson.
Yeah, my God. And now here's the thing. We've had no offensive chances. We don't generate any shots, and now Seattle's just going to clamp down, just play more defense. We've got 14 shots, and there's 12 minutes left in the game. Ugh. I'm telling you, we've got 3 shots in the third period. We had 5 shots in the first, 6 shots in the second, 3 shots in the third. At this rate, I mean, we're gonna have our period high shots. Maybe we'll have 7 or 8 shots this period. Fantastic, fan-freaking-tastic. Oh,
where's the dynamite? Just blow it up. Just blow the whole thing up.
My God, Jesus. And now we're giving effort, but I'm like, why the hell does it take us going down 1-0 to freaking show up? This is one of the worst teams in the NHL. Oh my God. And now here's the thing. Now that we're trying to put forward offensive effort, we're giving up odd man chances going the other way. And that's how Seattle plays, right? They play that same exact counterpunch style of offense the counterpunch style that we used to employ way back in the day. Nice little move.
Oh my
God. Get your ass out of that. Get him out of there. Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out. Go back home. Inexcusable.
We're getting rolled. We're getting rolled by the Kraken.
Oh my God. I tell you. That's 2 weak ass goals. 2 weak ass goals.
Well, let's watch it.
This is a weak goal. It's a backhand attempt. You got to make a save on that. Doesn't hit off of Yanni Gord. He just doesn't save it. It goes right under his hand. You've got to make a save on that. Simple as that. You got to clear guys out in front, but that's another weak ass goal. It wasn't even like it was a freaking. It wasn't even like it was a hard backhand shot. It was a backhand attempt when he has the puck in front of him. So it was a weak ass attempt on that too. I'm sorry. I mean, like Varlamov's not the reason we're losing today, but that's 2 weak goals.
Well, then he is the reason why we're losing today because he gave up 2 weak goals.
He's not the reason. Okay, the reason we're losing because we cannot generate any offense, dude. We have 13 shots on net.
Josh Bailey just sticked Eberle up high. Not deliberate.
Hey, this for old time's sakes. We've got 15 shots on net. That's the real reason we're losing.
The real reason we're losing is because Josh Bailey is still on his team. Look at him. He stops. I'm not going to go down low. I'll hustle back, fellas. Bailey.
We might lose 3-0 today. Holy shit. I mean, they're real
shooting gallery now on Varlamov. Nothing's getting through, but still.
A screen shot from the
Tell me this is not how we were winning games the last 2 years. Just like this.
This is exactly how we won games.
Ugh. Oh my God. Matt Barzal does not want to be here anymore.
I was about to say, I don't know what's worse, the fact that we looked like shit today and how badly we looked, or the fact that we have man, dude, I'm sorry.
Barry Trotz has killed Matt Barzal. Hey, let's just throw backhands at Varlamov. He ain't saving any of those.
Okay, here we go. I'm telling you, he's not the answer here. I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but he is not the answer here. No. He brought us back respectability. He turned a miserable team into a playoff competitor. Holy shit. My God. My God.
I think he made a save on that first one.
I don't even think he took a shot. I don't know what's the Seattle Kraken didn't even take a shot there. That was a Bailey right there. He had a wide open chance just to redirect it in the net, and he says, I'm going to stick handle that. Sheehan. Oh, my God.
You would think that they'd have a lot more jump. The Islanders after going down, like, hey, we got to step it up, fellas. It looks like the Kraken has a jump now. They got jump in their step.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Poor Jerry Rice is doing DraftKings commercials. Well,
hey, man, I gets paid good money.
I shouldn't say that. We do DraftKings commercials.
Poor TJ in the Grubfield, man, do DraftKings commercials.
But we didn't lead the NFL in receiving. I'm just saying. I always liked Jerry Rice. He was a winner.
Oh man, for certain. Mr. Softy Sharks again. Tony Cheese saying Varlamov looking for the puck like Rob Lowe looking for Bigfoot.
Oh shit.
Hold on, is Rob Lowe like a Bigfoot conspiracy theorist?
I don't know, but I get it.
John P saying, "What will Barry's post-game nonsensical what will be Barry's post-game nonsensical comment?" So probably say, "We played a good system out there. We just goals we couldn't let in, and we had defensive lapses on 2 situations. The bounces didn't go our way. I mean, Varlamov lose sight of the puck, and the bounce just doesn't go his way, and it's unfortunate. If it's an inch more to the right, that puck that hits Varlamov's shoulder would be hit out in front of the net, and it doesn't go in the net, and we'd be in a good situation. It's just unfortunate puck bounces, Grumpy.
Oliver Wahlstrom didn't grind enough tonight. That's why we lost.
Exactly.
Kiefer Bellows is a negative influence back wherever he's living. He's not here. Robin Salo, I know he's not played, but that's a problem for us. When he played, it had a negative impact. You're seeing it now.
Damn it, Kiefer Bellows. Oh man. Oh, he's been the issue. It's been Bellows. And then we got a comment here. Kanye the Giant says decent play by Eberle, but I'd like to see his IQ score compared to Josh Bailey. That's right.
Yeah.
Look at that! Adam Pellick trying to throw the body around.
Yeah, you're gonna hit that guy. You might as well lay him out. No,
dude. I just look at how we're trying to play more inspired hockey. Both of these teams played last night. Both of them played last night. The Islanders played at home and are at home. And I see more enthusiasm, and I saw more jump out of the Seattle Kraken for the first 45 minutes of action. And it wasn't until we gave up a goal did we actually show like we gave a little bit of a damn.
I tell you what, I know I've said it before, the Kraken are us 2 years ago. That's who they are.
God almighty. John M saying there should have been an icing before that goal. Well, it would just be prolonging the inevitable, right? I mean, we
Prolonging the
were going to
agony.
win this game. Yeah. Nick D said, you know why, TJ? They're sick of Barry's bullshit.
Yeah, man, you can't lose to these teams.
Shit. I mean, right? That's the only thing we had going for us. We were beating the shitty teams, but we could not beat a good team. And now you lose to the bad teams. You can't be doing that. Frank's at home, no less. Frank C said the season's a big 0 like this team. Real quick here.
Who's the expansion team?
Stephen K said, who's the expansion team? Oh, man. Michael T said, don't dip your pen in company ink. I've also heard, don't get your honey where you make your money. Those are all good ones. Now it's 2-0. Ariel C said, can't even beat Seattle. Sheesh. Ariel C said, can't score on one of the worst goalies in the league. Yikes.
True.
Tony Cheese saying, what's the score? Islanders are up 5-0, Tony Cheese. The Islanders are beating the Seattle Kraken 5-0, and they've looked like an offensive dynamo today. Tony Cheese.
I hate being right all the time, and I told everyone this is what was going to happen.
Oh, nice job throwing a body around.
Everyone was living the high life when we were getting beat in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm like, this team isn't any good. You need to blow it up, start over if you want to be good in the long run. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Now you're seeing the reason why I was saying those things. I hope you enjoyed those 2 Eastern Conference failures, because that's all you're going to have for quite a while.
Instead of the Eastern Conference Finals, they're called Eastern Conference failures, huh?
They were for us.
They were the ECFs, Eastern Conference failures. Michael T said, this is just sad, literally sad. Did someone say disjointed? JG? Yeah. The Islanders, a misery rated X. Yeah.
Oh.
Joe C said, we need a team. We need speed. Stephen J says, game over for certain. I mean, it's 2-0. We could play. Here's the thing. Could you imagine if we went ahead and taped off and put a board on our net and played 6-on-5 for 7 minutes? Do you think?
Oh, Matty B.
Holy shit, Matty B.
He's done that twice today.
He's not look good. Why the hell? Holy crap. Why was 37 not looking to shoot that puck?
I don't know. He's done that twice today. Matt Barzell, he's good. I think you think he's trying to play his way out of town.
Maybe he's embracing the tank. Maybe ownership wants to pay him an extra $10,000 every game we lose.
Oh shit! They play a lot more games. That can be some serious.
They made a short amendment to his contract saying, Matt Barzal, every game we lose, we're going to pay you an extra $10K. He said, no worries, fam. Let's get to work.
He's been bad today.
He's been awful. Greg Frost saying they don't have one forward that knows how to play without the puck. Mike Bossy was the best ever playing without the puck.
Yep. He was really good getting open spots.
Alexander says unreal seat to easy zone entry. Seattle, too easy into our zone. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just walking in. And who's that on? It's not on the defenseman.
And we got John M saying weak backhand shot, piss poor goaltending. Yeah.
What did Phil say about that shot? Probably nothing.
He said it was a screenshot. I said, dude, it was a shot. The guy had the puck in front of his body. There's no power you can get when you're taking a shot in front of your body, like a backhand shot, no less. I mean, it's a screenshot, but Jesus Christ, it was a weak ass shot right underneath him. Come on, he's got to come up with that. Michael T said the Boo Birds better be making some noise in the arena tonight. Boo Birds, Boo Birds, Boo Birds. Oh man, Grumpy. Shit. This is it, guys. This is, if you had any thought of the team being successful, this season is over. Embrace the tank. Lose games aplenty. What are you shaking your head for?
I don't know. It's abominable.
Dude, we look awful. It's here's the thing. There are no freaking excuses for this game. None. Both teams played last night. They played the tougher opponent. They played the Boston Bruins last night. Christ almighty. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh.
At least we're throwing a body around.
Steamroller check. Who's that by? That's 2 checks. Is that Palmieri?
I don't know.
3 checks. He's like figuring, what the hell? I'm getting paid $5 million. I might as well do something. It's not.
Holy shit. There's a 2-on-1. Go! Holy shit. Farley almost lets that in, but maybe he came out. Oh, did he miss the net?
I think he missed the net.
Okay, I was about to say that was a prime opportunity. I thought Varley was a lot of position. Either it was a great save by Varlamov or it was a bad miss by Seattle. Shooters Puck Hockey says every time Varley plays, I notice we don't score, but with Sorokin, it's the opposite. Yep, I do see the same thing. Yep, no run support.
Because they can play more offense. They don't have to be so buttoned up when Sorokin's in net. That's the reason why.
Yep. Yeah. James F saying, hey guys, I'm in Pittsburgh. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully the weather's not bad. Welcome to Pittsburgh, James. So much unpacking to do, I'm sure. Oh, James, hopefully you don't blow. Man, be careful with the back. I know you've had back issues. Be careful. Be careful. 516 fella said, we're terrible. We're going to be in a long time for the end of the season. Yeah.
That's okay. It gives me plenty of time to talk about the off season, which is my favorite time of the year.
The Caps just tied it, says Brian B. Alexander says, bye-bye, Barry. Bye-bye, Barry.
Bye-bye, Barry.
I think we need a Rob Lowe. What did Rob Lowe do in a post? Hold on. Rob Lowe, the actor?
Yeah.
What do you mean post Rob Lowe? I don't get it. What does Rob Lowe do?
Rob Lowe was in Youngblood.
I know he's in Youngblood. He's also in the movie. He's in the TV show Community. Or no, is it that? What show is that?
Okay, that show's been canceled. Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. That's it. He's in that show.
It's been canceled. That show's been off the air for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Kanye the Giant says, I'll say Trotz isn't a good coach. I bet almost anyone could luck into one cup if you give him almost 30 years. No, Trotz is a good coach. His system he's a good regular season coach. His system worked well for us to start. For certain it did. That being said, with the cast and crew we have, he still does not mesh his system at all to the players we have. And that is his unwillingness to make adjustments to the style makes it to where we just cannot be as successful as the years in the past.
These guys look like the 1976 Montreal Canadiens out there now. They look like the Russian national team.
And we look like that. We look like the Philadelphia Flyers, or we look like the NHL All-Stars.
Yeah, we look like the U.S. Olympic team in the pre-tournament getting beat 10-3.
No. That would include us scoring goals.
Now we're skating into one another.
Holy shit! Oh my God! Alexander said this is an embarrassing effort for certain. Is Greg?
Oh no!
Big
Varley got lucky. Varley got lucky.
No, it was a good save by Varlamov.
He had one more foot. Varley was down on his ass.
I don't know why he didn't hold it longer, but Jesus Christ, we look awful. We look awful, not only defensively, but also offensively. Holy shit.
The crowd must be booing. The crowd has to be booing here, don't they?
We are awful. We are awful.
We're being absolutely dominated.
Jesus, my God. Here's the thing. We're not making the playoffs. If anybody asks you, just say, go look at that Seattle Kraken game. Hey, can you do me a favor? Go look at that Seattle Kraken game. Yeah, Greg Frost saying, I could see Bart Paul going to the Kraken to play with Eberle and close to home. Oh, we already pulled the goalie. There it is.
Why are you wasting your time?
Oh, no, we're about to pull the goalie. Correction. 516 fella said, only highlight from tonight's game was Jigs in the booth.
I'll tell you what, we'd have to have like a 9-on-5 situation to have any chance of scoring.
That's what I said. Do you think if we played for 7 minutes, 6-on-5, and we went ahead and taped up a cinder or like a 2x4 or a whole bunch of 2x4s to prevent, the Seattle Kraken from scoring? Do you think playing with a man advantage for 7 minutes and no ability to give up a goal, or playing on a 7-minute power play, do you think we could score 2 goals?
We'd have to be 9-on-5.
Jesus. Ugh.
They'd have to give us, go ahead, throw your whole lineup out there. We don't care.
Tony Chi saying, look up the low files on A&E. Okay, I have to look at it. James F saying, I guess I didn't miss much in our teaming shock. They're losing. Oh, yeah. Angelo M saying, disgraceful.
What the hell? See, he panicked there. Number 9 just shit the bed.
I was about to say, he had
take another stride. It's an easy goal for you. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Ryan Donato. I was just terrible.
Yeah.
That wasn't Varlamov. That was on him.
Stephen K said, Lou got too many old Devil players. Steve, you must be new to the show. We talk about it all the time. We're the old New York Devils. Dimitri P said, I feel bad for people who sat in traffic to attend this shit show.
Or sat in their seats.
or paid. That's even bad too. Mike P said, "We suck." For certain we do. Michael T saying, "It's gotta be the jerseys. Why are they wearing these jerseys tonight? I thought they only wore them on Saturdays."
What's the difference? Seems like every day's a Saturday then.
We struggled this season because we wore the jersey we wore on Saturdays. The jersey guys didn't have the right jersey wash for us, and that's why we look so bad. It was the 13-game road trip and COVID, and then it was, Ryan Pulak got hurt and Brock Nelson got hurt. We changed up the post-workout muscle milk and drink, the protein shakes, and we just wore the wrong jerseys. That's why we lost. That's why we struggled this year. It's pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. Double saying here, what the hell happened? I walked away to help my wife. Had no clue what happened. I guess Varlamov is a softie. Yeah,
well, it's two softies.
Two softies. Yeah, and again, our offense has been hideous all game. We've been bad. This is probably the worst. We talked about this is the worst game we've played all season.
So you're trying to tell me if somebody offered you 2 firsts for Brock Nelson, you wouldn't take it?
I'd probably take it right now.
Absolutely, you take it.
If we're on full on a rebuild, I don't think we're that far gone. We
are that far gone. We are that far gone. If you think it's bad this year, wait till next year. It's going to be 1,000 times worse.
I hope you're wrong.
Okay.
John M saying, and Barzal wants to sign long-term for this. I think not.
He's not going to. You might as well start your rebuild now. Say, Matt, this offseason, I know you got 1 more year, but then you got the other year free unrestricted free agency. We're going to rebuild. We're going to do everything around you. We want you to buy in. We're getting rid of these pieces of shit that play on your line right now. We're going to get better, younger, faster players. We're getting rid of Barry. I know that's got to make you happy.
Christopher C said, TJ, Grumpy, I'd love to hear your answer. Suppose we get rid of Lee. How can we function without a captain? We still need one to lead this team. Well, we'd never be able to get rid of Lee, but let's play in this hypothetical situation. We'll keep it quick because we got the post game after this. We would find somebody else to fill in the captain role. Give it to Matt Barzal. Give it the best player in your team. That's what I do. Nick D said it's official, no playoffs. I think Barzal is playing to get rid of Barry. Maybe that's why he's making so many bad turnovers. Kanye the Giant, the COVID years were a fluke. This is the real Islanders.
That's exactly right.
The team everybody expected after Tavares left. Michael T said, so where does Matt Barzal end up when he leaves the Islanders?
Depends on who pays him the most money.
Nick D said, we finally get a new arena and we're in the shits. So much for going all in. Lou? Barry? Yeah. Hey, Stanley Cup or bust. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say we're bust. Alexander say, oh my God, 6 shots and none of them hit the net. Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Paulo C said, it's so freaking frustrating watching this team. I don't want to watch anymore. I don't blame the fans if they're empty seats. Yeah, I was about to say, the only thing now is you guys get to listen to good satirical commentary on the Islanders. I mean, like, as they kind of slip further and further out of spot, it's going to get more and more fun on the podcast.
It's going to be gallows humor for certain. Is Bailey. Well, we need to score a goal. We'll put Bailey out there, piece of shit.
Oh, man, oh, man. I want you to decide, said the booing has started. Good. Double saying here, yep, it was Varlamov. When he comes out, they should play Mr. Softy ice cream truck music.
Absolutely.
Drum, do the Mr. Softy. Hey, Josh Bailey.
Josh Bailey. What do you want for Christmas? I want the Josh Bailey special.
I forgot. It wasn't only just the jerseys. The other reason we struggled is, remember, Butch Goring did have shoulder surgery, so he had to miss a few games announcing, and that kind of threw the Islanders' mojo off. And tonight,
oh my God. Oh, there's your 3. Look how bad it is. They didn't even give a crap. They were launching it from their own zone with 10 seconds to go, just trying to score goals.
Yeah, I told you. It looks like the Islanders are going to lose 3-0 this game. I didn't know there was going to be an empty netter, but man, Bill B says shop Varley during this break for certain. Drew L saying here, it was a great podcast for memes. Laugh myself. Oh no, we'll pull up the memes. We got a few of them for the post game. We'll do a post game, and I could tell you it probably won't be a joyful one. Shooters Puck Hockey says Butch doesn't even say the playoffs aren't. Butch even said the playoffs aren't happening. Yeah, that's all. Yep.
Wow, Butch said that? Holy shit. You know it's not happening now.
Once the people who get paid start saying, yeah, our company's not great. Yeah, we didn't put a good product out there. Yeah, that tells you all you need to know. Oh, Philip Gruber's first shutout of the season and the first shutout for the Seattle Kraken's team in franchise history. Look at that. It only came against the New York Islanders for a home game for the Islanders.
Now our failure is complete.
Hold on. Thank you. Thank you, New York Islanders. Being and giving a moment for Seattle Kraken franchise history. Holy shit. Just when you think it can't get worse, it does. Alexander says, Barry Trotz reminds me of Big Bird. Drew L., I will check them out. 43 degrees yesterday in Pittsburgh. Not too bad. Butch admitting the season's over, says Meeple Parm. Holy shit. Wow! Butch Scoring even says it. I wonder if Barry Trotz, they should ask a question. Dude, Andrew Gross, I know you asked one tough question. I want you to ask another one today, saying after losing. What do you
think? What do you think about Butch Goring saying the season's over? Oh,
what do you think about Butch Goring's comments about this season's essentially over? What do you think about that, Barry?
Butch is going to get his pink slip tomorrow. Running.
Greg Frost, too many older players with long contracts. Time to clean house. Alexander saying, let's bring back Lauren Henning. Coach this team. I want you to decide. Says the Flyers wiped the Soviet team.
They were the only NHL team that beat the Soviets.
We'll look at that, John. We're about to take a break, and we'll be right back after this. And remember, we will be back on. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back on about 10, 15 minutes. We want to see the post game that Barry has to say, and then we're going to come out with our podcast. It's much more structured, and I'd say the thoughts are more elegant. It's not so quick response time. Alexander said, here come the Boo Birds. Booze everywhere for certain. Michael B said the Coliseum was its most valuable asset, and the fans were the team's main motivating factor. The noise and the energy that place had was immense. Now it's the opposite. The highest highs to the lowest shit. Don't be horrible said, are you with the Hockey Podcast Network? When are you going to stream on the Hockey Podcast Network? Yes, we're part of the Hockey Podcast Network for certain. We stream on this right here. The Hockey Podcast Network stream has like a million different things. So we just keep it all segmented on one place. So you don't have to see a whole bunch of terrible notifications. So if you like this podcast, you just subscribe to the channel. John P says, what a disgraceful effort. What do you think Lou is thinking right now? Holy shit. Lou's
probably thinking, why the hell did I ever listen to Barry?
Joe C says, let's see what 37-year-old Lou or 77-year-old Lou will bring at the trade deadline.
Let's see what 37-year-old Lou will bring at the deadline.
He's 77, though.
Let's see what 37-year-old Lou will bring in at the deadline.
Oh, gotcha. Now I understand. Nick D said, what a joke. Brian P said, what a disgraceful performance. Maybe the worst of the year. It was. Greg F saying here, they play the same way at both ends of the ice. That's on Trotz.
Yep.
Nick D here saying, Palmieri must be laughing since he ripped off the Islanders for certain. Tony G saying, I'll catch the post game in the AM. Thanks for the stream, guys. Catch you guys live tomorrow. Brian B said, now we talk about jerseys. Oh, yeah, it's the jerseys, and Jigs McDonald threw off the mojo today, and that's why we look so bad. You know, every excuse we can give. Drew L is saying here, let's pump the brakes on that, TJ. Both Panthers were way worse in this game. Both Panthers games were way worse in this game. I don't know.
But the Panthers are a way better team than the Kraken.
Oh my goodness. Frank C saying Islander shit to bed. Absolutely. Mario saying all I've read last week was the bootlickers saying that Pulak's return was going to be the solution to the problems this team was facing. Those people are so delusional, it's beyond belief. Yeah, they don't pay.
Don't worry. We are the curve. You'll see. They'll be
about a month, then they'll come around. Nick D said
they'll be saying the same things that we've been saying.
It's going to come down to Barry or Barzal. It needs to be Barzal. Rangers don't have a captain. Michael T said Barry must go. Dimitri P said at least the seats with all you can eat options are going to be cheap. Joseph C saying the Rangers have a captain, Bill B. He's not the official C, but it's definitely Kreider. First shutout in Kraken history. Jake Bellows laughing. Empty net goal. 3-0. We suck again. Pathetic. Yes. We made NHL history. We made the first history. We made history. First shutout for the Kraken in history. Congratulations, Barry Trotz. I wonder if Trotz and Bailey will go for a hot dog and on a stick after the game. Double says here, they're going to bench Butch. Oh, wait a minute. He's a vet. Drew L says, take it back to the Knicks game. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. And the arena's the fault. Barry says, fire me. Get me away from these losers. Mr. B said, we drove the car into the ground and didn't leave any money in the bank for a new one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be coming right back to you live. Give us about 10 or 15. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking about the post-game fantastic comments that Barry Trotz made about Oliver Wahlstrom, and we're going to talk about what happened in this evening's game. It should be a fun one. We're going to see a lot of gallows humor upcoming as the team's chances of the playoffs continue to slip right through their fingers. Again, they have no chance at all right now. Even you got people employed by the Islanders saying they don't have a chance. That should be the last litmus test you need. If it wasn't enough to see the shitty play on the ice, when you start seeing people whose checks are paid by the Islanders saying the Islanders are not making the playoffs, you should do nothing else.
We're not even halfway through the season.
Yep, not even halfway through. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. Thank you again, Grumpy. We'll be right back.